Hello, everybody. Welcome to 50/50 Booking. And right on cue is our special guest.
Hi! You coming up there, buddy?
The man in Mojo. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, you guys were aware there possibly wouldn't be a show today because obviously WrestleMania weekend. I did say I'll try and sort something out for you guys, and I've managed to do so. This is a special edition of 50/50 Booking, and it's called the Idiot's Guide to Wrestling.
Also, Mojo Show. Come on in, get on the bed.
Apparently, Mojo's favourite wrestling outfit's the Wolfpack. Go figure.
Apparently,
Right.
Yeah. Put your blanket.
For those of you who've never seen Mojo, he's a mix of a Kinder and a Malamute.
A Tita and Malamute. Come here, baby.
Yeah, essentially he looks like a... For those of you who don't know, he looks like a wolf. There you go. Like, that's him. Hey, Mojo.
Oh, didn't someone not like me putting him on camera? I'm sorry.
That's all right. He's had his moment of fame, so to be fair, I could always just put a picture up of him.
I mean, yeah, I did send you a really cute one, so...
Yeah, there you go. But basically, what we're going to do for this particular episode, guys, for this special, is...
You can let us get a word in today. No?
Oh, I'll be fine. It's just you're going to have the problem.
Yeah. If you want to listen, we are. What do you mean, no?
I think you got no chance there, personally.
Blanky? No, you're not chewing it up. No, it's not a tug of war toy. Hey, there's my little fluffy butthole.
This is the one responsible for what's going on right now. This guy here.
Oh, boy. No. Stop trying to eat that. It's for keeping you warm and cozy. Come on.
As the title says, this is an idiot's guide to wrestling. Basically, you guys all know I know quite a lot about wrestling itself. Okay. Steph, however, is not putting the baby face over. She's trying to deny Mojo his push.
Don't try and eat the laptop. No.
Hi, Mojo.
Are you feeling camera shy today?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? It's not edible.
Best podcast ever.
I know, right? I love that.
But so basically, Stephanie, what has watched when she was younger, but doesn't really follow it so much now.
Yeah.
And basically, we are going to go through what Stephanie knows and doesn't know about wrestling, and then we are going to have apparently outside interference from Mojo. He's got the chair. He's got the chair. Yeah.
Oh, did you want your true toy that's under the box? Oh.
I think that's fair enough. Give me his chew toy. We'll sort something out.
Yeah, he's got it. He's just yanked it from underneath a box that's by my door. Are you going to come sit on the bed and chew it, or are you just going to rip it to shreds down there? Okay, I have my answer. But so yeah, I haven't really watched a lot of it recently. I mainly watch 50/50 Booking to catch up on what's happened. But what? Don't huff at me.
So some of you may have watched obviously this in High Spots. Stephanie does send us a lot of comments which we feature, which you can always have happen if you want to get involved. And there's always a chance we will talk about your opinion and stuff. But obviously, if you're one of our lovely people over on Patreon,
hey. Okay, that
you could end up being featured. So, because there's certain tier levels on this where you can support the show, and there's other ones where you'll get shout outs, and there's higher levels where you can actually be on shows. So there's a chance if you're on a certain support level, you can actually be a guest or even co-host certain shows with people.
Yes.
So, which is always good. So that also helps us keep stuff running as well. Plus you get a bunch of perks depending on which one you go with. So do bear that in mind. So I'll get all these done now, so then we don't have to worry about them later. So obviously we have our Twitter here, which is sorting in. Obviously, it's a special edition, but it's still 50/50 booking hashtag to do anything relate to this show. And again, there's their Instagram, same deal as the Twitter, basically. But some people prefer Instagram, some people prefer Twitter. Either one works. If you're a patron, you can contact us directly through Patreon. It's not an issue. Also, we have Stephanie's Instagram.
Yes. Check out my job.
So you can find Stephanie's stuff there. Right. Also, for all you lovely special people, our sponsor, Join the Light Photography. Now, we have a very special offer because it's WrestleMania weekend. If you use the code 5050WRESTLE, okay, the first and only person who gives me that code gets a free photo shoot, but you have to be within a reasonable travel distance of London. People that work for this network cannot apply.
I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, that promo code is valid for the next 7 days, but it's a first come first served basis as to who wins. Okay, so basically today's the 11th. You have until the 18th, so basically the next 50/50 booking to apply that one. Okay, but that's just to be clear. I mean photo shoots, not weddings or events or anything like that. We're talking actual photo shoot. Okay. Right.
I'm just going to shut my door.
No worries. I'm sure he'll open it again in a minute anyway.
Oh, never mind. I had a sibling do it for me. Perks of being the eldest.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, look! Outside interference! Outside interference!
Are you done with your rabbit? Hang on. What is it? What is it? I didn't know how bad of a shape it was in.
What did that used to be?
It used to be a rabbit.
Not anymore. You mean a toy rabbit?
Yeah, it was fake. I do want to clarify for all others. Yeah, it's fake. There you go.
Well, anyway, now that we've got all the plugs and stuff out of the way for everybody, we can get down to what we're here for, which is seeing what. We're here to watch Steph and Mojo have a tug of war. Okay, no, guys, I'm going to be very much on the fan favourite side here. Mojo, 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 Mojo.
There you go, baby. Just don't nip my toes, please. Haha, ow!
Best content ever.
Also, best cuddles ever too.
That too.
We're gonna give Mama cuddles while she does this. Wow. So yes, why we are here today is not to just have an hour's worth of dog content. I'm sorry.
Honestly, we should do that as a Patreon show at some point. Just have him home for an hour doing fun stuff.
Oh god, yeah, that would be great.
The thing is, Steph, we can't see that.
Oh, it's his face. I can't flip my camera around or anything. It's kind of...
No, we can't see what you're doing.
Oh!
We've fallen and we can't get up. I know, we can see it now.
No, hey y'all. Oh.
Doggo invasion. Doggo invasion.
Oh. Right, don't knock my laptop. Actually, I'm going to move my laptop a little bit so that way he has room to play. So yes.
Right.
Just tilt your head. Right. Ow, buddy.
Right.
Is he-
So basically, what we're going to do is an idiot's guide to wrestling, essentially. And because Steph doesn't watch regularly and is a lot younger than I am, as far as that stuff goes, so there's a lot of stuff Stephanie will not know. So we're going to cover what Steph knows. So basically, we're going to get Steph to tell us a bit about what she knows as far as wrestling goes, and then we're going to go over things like terms, companies, wrestlers, stuff like that, and see what works out to be. Okay. Once Stephanie loses her tug of war with Mojo.
I mean, I can talk while playing. It's not an issue. But basically, I started watching wrestling through my mum watching old WWF reruns when I was a kid. Now, my jumper, thank you. So, I think one of the first couple of matches I watched that got me into wrestling when I was about 5 was a Undertaker match. Now, disclosure, here, Undertaker is one of my favorite wrestlers, and I actually cried when he was at that WrestleMania where he left his hat in the ring, because I actually watched that one.
Where he did what? Sorry.
Where he left his hat in the ring for his retirement.
Yeah. The thing is, most of us older fans called that his sexy striptease.
I mean, I can see why.
Yeah.
Your face is the cutest.
So, for those of you who obviously aren't familiar, like Steph is, that was the match he had against Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah, because it was like basically passing over the torch to Roman for it to be like his yard, essentially. Because that's what he used. That was one of the gimmicks he had, I believe. Like the big dog and everything. But yeah, I was raised on stuff from the 1990s as well, WWF wise as well. So yeah, I don't remember much because I watched it until my brother was born. A couple of years later, when I was about 6, 7, and I didn't really get back into it until I was 14. So, and that was when the Shield was a thing. Did you just fall off? Sorry, we're playing and his hind legs kind of just scooted off the end of my bed and I hear a little pump. Oh, buddy. So, so the Shield was the thing.
Yeah, the fun of having dogs to play with, people. If you don't have them, this is kind of what happens, especially dogs like Mojo.
Yeah. Wait, don't bite my bum! No biting my bum.
Yeah, this is not OnlyFans, Mojo.
His face
or Pornhub.
His face just dropped when you said that.
Well, that's not OnlyFans. Oh, I'm sorry, Mojo.
Should we start you an OnlyFans?
He'd probably get loads of subs too.
You know, think of all the dog treats I could buy you if you started an OnlyFans. Oh, are you just going to come in?
It gives a new meaning to the term "give a dog a bone."
Oh, mummy loves you. So yeah, the Shield was a thing. I'm trying to think what other factions were around at that point. Oh, I also remembered the Stephanie McMahon and Bella Twins feud. And a few other bits. But I kind of lost interest in wrestling about a year ago now, because I was just seeing storylines getting repeated, and it's just, yeah, it wasn't a great ball of fun for me anymore.
Yeah. I think if I've worked out correctly, you're probably looking at, with Stephanie's timeline, probably 2013, 2014.
Yeah, something like that. I was like between 13 and 14 when I jumped back into wrestling. And then started watching wrestling with my ex, who introduced me to NXT, which very good. Like, I do like NXT. I will say I do watch highlights for NXT. I don't really watch them for Raw and SmackDown anymore. But yeah, I stopped watching it about a year ago, like properly. because I lost interest. I'm one of those people who gain interest in a certain subject for a certain period of time, and then all of a sudden I just lose complete interest in it. So
yeah,
minus Mojo, I can never lose interest in this one.
Well, I think that the difference, obviously, with Mojo is constantly engaging and finds ways to keep your attention. I think the problem you get with modern day WWE, particularly, is they don't try and keep you engaged. They just try and give you what they think you want. It's not the same.
Yeah, thing. And they don't really listen to the fans as much as what they should, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, to put it bluntly, I mean, people on this program know what I think. WWE performs basically books for an audience of one. And it's Vince McMahon. Yeah. So, yeah, as long as Vince is happy, it doesn't matter as far as he's concerned.
What are you doing? I feel weird. He's nibbling, just for context, he's nibbling his tail, and his tail's on my kneecap.
I tell you this right now. I swear to God, I'm going to give him an actual show, and we're going to call it the Mojo Show.
Mojo, do you want to have your own show, babe? Do you want to be internet famous? It's not like you already are. You've got more followers than I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at that face.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can actually pull up his Instagram right now and tell you how many followers he has. That's how sad it is. I mean, he has a couple of Instagrams as well. I'll just give you the one that me and my mum use. So,
yeah.
This one's the smaller account because it hasn't been used, but he has 18 followers at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But his other account, literally, he has 300 followers.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I can actually clarify that because I'm pretty sure the other account's still there. Yeah, it is.
It is. They're both there.
Yeah.
So,
but
the funny part about that, though, is outside of me, Mojo in our family has the most followers.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, unless you take my personal Instagram into account, but yeah.
Oh, I'm not talking about my personal Instagram. I'm talking about my business one because my professional one does, but my personal one does not because my personal one is personal.
Yeah, I mean, you won't be able to find my personal one, so I wouldn't even bother trying, but yeah. So, just in case you want to plug him in the future, I have sent you a screenshot of his Instagram.
We'll sort that out, definitely.
Hi, baby.
Well, if we're going to do him a show, we probably will end up actually, doing it at some point. So we'd have to, because if he's going to keep doing runnings, we'll have to plug him because we'll have to.
Oh, yeah. It's only company policy.
Yeah. I thought I saw a putty. I thought I saw a wabbit. Wabbit, Jed.
Well, the head. I've got the neck because the head used to be there.
Not anymore.
Nope. He just banged myself on the nose. No. And whoop. So, yeah.
Yes, as we were saying, obviously,
That's
the thing is, people, this is going to happen while he's around. We're not going to stop him because we wouldn't.
No.
And it's a case of we can still do this. It's just you will have to put up with Mojo being involved. It's a thing.
Yeah, Mojo has been my little shadow for the last week, so you're gonna probably see him a lot more on shows. I mean, he kind of made a brief appearance on my show on Saturday, so
yeah,
that was close to my tip, mister.
This is definitely the biggest, most consistent appearance he's done on any show. You know, it just shows that he's a star, really, because literally he waited until the special to make his presence known.
You're heavy. Oh, bless you.
Yes, bless you, Mojo.
Look off the blanket. Bless you.
Yes, bless you. Bless you for sneezing on the rabbit.
So yeah, that was my that's kind of like the brief background on how much I know of wrestling.
Yeah. So obviously that's as far as what we're talking about stuff just watched. I mean, what do you understand as far as rules, booking, and all that sort of stuff goes?
Well, WWE's booking's gone. he's just rolled off my bed.
Is he all right?
You good, baby? Are you just slightly embarrassed? So right, don't let that hurt you. Come on, up, up, oh, up.
He's probably gonna be like, "No, not doing it now. No, you let me fall."
Come get. This face is everything. A quick disclaimer: if you do want to get a Malamute Akita or a Malamute Siberian Husky, this one is 3 years old. He still plays like he's a baby. They are forever puppies.
And he is a big boy.
He is. He weighs like 45 kilograms, which is the top of his weight category for a large dog. Ow!
And on his hind legs is about 5'5".
Mm-hmm. And just for context, I'm 5'5.5" standing up.
Yeah. So they are wonderful dogs, but you have to be able to handle them as well. It's very important. Yeah. And also understand their requirements. So,
ow!
So anyway, before Mojo decided to interrupt us, talk about booking.
I know 50-50 booking. I know booking has gone way downhill for WWE because I look at the gimmicks and everything and the matches and shit. And, you know, half of the time you're just watching like squash matches and shit because they can't be bothered to book something properly.
Okay. You actually just brought up a very good point. Do you actually know what the term 50-50 booking means, as in why the show is called that? Do you, Mojo? Mojo, do you know why it's called that?
I believe 50-50 booking is where like a superstar's across both brands, I want to say. Oh, wait. Or there's more than one brand for a company to consider. So there's like Raw, SmackDown.
Okay. He's telling you you're wrong, and he's right. You are wrong.
Oh, well, I have no clue. I have no clue. You're killing a big boy.
Right. Basically, to explain 50-50 booking, right? When two wrestlers are in a facing each other, in a match, one will win 1 week, the other one will win the following week.
Yeah.
And it will keep going on that way for like a month or so. And basically they'll end up both having the same amount of wins against each other. And that's called 50-50 booking because neither of them actually get over because of it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where they're just trying to like balance out certain superstars and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas when you push a superstar, they get a full boost and like remodel and shit.
Yeah. 50-50 booking essentially can be quite damaging if you do it to the wrong people.
Oh! Sharp teeth.
I think you just got huffed at, didn't you?
Yes. Someone being a pain. Someone need to calm down for 5 minutes. Or someone
yes,
just
Steph, calm down.
Act like he's not falling off the bed.
Yeah. Yes, Steph, calm down.
You want it? Okay. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I understand of it.
Okay, cool. We actually have a comment, by the way, so
okay.
I'm just going to bring this up. It's literally just somebody saying, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hello, Sprinkle Tooth.
Hello.
Hope you're having a good day, wherever you are.
Yeah. We hope you are.
Cool, but that's essentially 50-50 booking. To explain in the simplest way I can.
Oh, you can't see his face.
Oh, you can see his eyes.
This is the puppy play side of things.
Yeah, we should literally give him a show where it's called Puppy Play.
I mean, yeah, I can actually arrange for that. I can get treats in and shit, so that won't be a problem.
The thing is, maybe we should make it a Patreon show.
Oh, should we make people pay us money to see you? His eyes lit up.
There you go. Yeah, I want doggy treats. Yeah.
Patreon show. Patreon show, yeah. And they pay for your treats. Is there any new toys? He's thinking about it.
Yeah, have a good think about it, Mojo.
I could get you a duck. Oh no, he sold. He is now grinning because he loves having his stuffed toy ducks. So
well, it breaks to them people. If we do a show with him, it's Patreon. Sorry.
Yeah,
right.
My doggo has demands.
Yeah, so if you want to see him do stuff and help supply his habits, you're going to have to become a patron. But
yes.
Let's go to Steph. So the most basic concept in wrestling, in wrestling in general, is heels and baby faces. Now, do you understand what that refers to?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you just sort of froze there for a minute.
Yeah, so baby faces, they're like the good guys. They're like the superheroes in like a comic book, and like the heels are the bad guys.
The villains, if you were, yeah.
But yeah, I forgot that word existed. I apologize. Mm-hmm. I'm not feeling 100% today.
Yeah, also you're kind of distracted too. So.
Yeah, because I thought he'd had enough, and now he's come back and he tried to take it out of my hands, being all like, being all sneaky. And he's not exactly the stealthiest, are you?
They're sneaky, the Mojo.
Yeah. Let it go. So yeah, I understand heels and baby faces, but there's because there are certain ones like heels and baby faces that stand out a lot more than others.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Are you familiar with the term tweener?
What?
Tweener.
Do you know what that is? I'm assuming that's both. They literally can flip more often than a coin. Right.
It's generally a wrestler that has characteristics of both.
Yeah.
But some tweeners tend to be heavier to more one side than the other. For you, because of when you would have been around, probably the best example of this for you would be Steve Austin. Yeah, would be Stone Cold.
Yeah. Honestly, he had more mood swings and like heel and face changes than like a woman has mood swings on her period.
Yeah, the funny thing though is people cheered him, so technically he's considered a babyface, but he had tweener characteristics because he got over by being essentially a heel, and hence tweener.
I'm looking at his face and it's like, oh, carcass. Do you want to go find another carcass to play with? Seeing as that's literally all you have at the moment is carcasses. Right, be careful because Mummy's hands are going to be close to this one.
So, let's see. Obviously, you mentioned about certain people being at different parts and different positions within the wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. Which comes down to a term that we talked about this on the Patreon show we did actually.
Yep.
It's a term that Jim Ross loves to use, right? Oh, good old JR. It'd be the push. He loves his push.
Do you need a push?
Okay. Do you know what a push is, Stephanie?
It's basically Vince's flavor of the month, and Vince goes, "We're making this guy the face of the company."
Not quite that, but it's whoever is the flavor at the time, basically.
Yeah, it's like Roman Reigns is still currently, I believe, to be flavor of the month, along with Jey Uso and a couple of others.
But the funny thing with that is Roman Reigns is currently Roman Reigns is actually currently a heel.
Yeah, but he's still getting more screen time than pretty much most other wrestlers would.
Well, this is where the booking stuff comes to it, because what you're supposed to do is book your champions to be a big deal, and Roman is currently one of their champions.
Oh, you pooped out now. You pooped out.
So essentially, world champions like
I know what you're trying to do. No. You're not doing that to me, mate. No. Testosterone much?
Yeah, you have two WWE, for example, has two world champions essentially. There's a WWE champion and there's a Universal champion. And what you're supposed to do with those guys is you're supposed to feature them prominently and make out they're a big deal, right? And Roman is one of those, is the Universal one.
Yeah.
So those guys should get more time to do stuff. That's the idea anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not, because obviously this is as of the 11th of April, and this is before the second night of WrestleMania, so I'm not spoiling anything for people because I'm not telling.
Yeah, that will be done next week for you.
Well, that's a review. People will know by then. So
yeah.
I'm also not going to mention any results from night one in case people haven't seen it yet.
Hi.
So yeah, because for those of you outside of North America, it would have been in the middle of the night essentially for a lot of them, apart from if you live in Australia. But yeah, it's a case of I don't want to spoil it for anyone who possibly hasn't seen it. So.
Yeah.
Right. So that's actually a good one. So if we're going to talk about WWE things, do you understand the significance of WrestleMania? What it means?
I know it's their wasn't it their first pay-per-view they ever did?
Well, technically no, but I'll explain that in a minute.
Right.
The first ever pay-per-view they ever did was actually something called the Wrestling Classic.
Okay.
It's actually on the WWE Network. If you have it, you can probably find it. The significance of WrestleMania is WrestleMania is the oldest of the current pay-per-views.
Oh, I mean, I thought it was originally designed for pretty much, people need to get more title shots, so they make a whole night based around title opportunities and shit. But I've remembered there's matches that don't include titles.
Yeah, the thing is, the first WrestleMania was 1984 or 85 from it. It's one of the others. I can't remember which one it is, to be perfectly honest, on the top of my head. I always have trouble remembering that. Let's see. Let's look at WrestleMania was it? Yeah, it'd be 84 because the fourth one was in 88. So 1984. Don't ask me what. I always remember when the fourth one is. So
yeah.
So it was 1984. The significance of the first WrestleMania is it was the first time where you had wrestling and essentially what you'd nowadays you call A-list celebrities, because you had people like Muhammad Ali, Cyndi Lauper, who was big at the time, Alice Cooper, people like that were involved, and at the time these were big deals. So it pushed wrestling into the mainstream attention at that point.
Oh, you just got a cardboard too, that's fine.
So consequently, if you tell anybody the word WrestleMania, even if they're not a wrestling fan, they will know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most talked about pay-per-views that the company does, so...
Yeah. Which, considering how many they've done, it's saying something. But yeah, WrestleMania is the one that's endured the most, and it's also the longest running of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of the pay-per-view thing, do you know why they're called pay-per-views?
Because you have to pay to see them.
In what respect, do you know?
I mean, it's because obviously you can get like the normal, but it's like I'm trying to think how to word it. Because basically,
do the best you can.
Yeah, so you get like your normal like televised shows like Raw, SmackDown, blah blah blah.
The weekly shows.
Yeah. And then you get like the special like 4-hour long like pay-per-views. And I think part of it is just for like profits and shit, because how much budget goes into these, because like obviously you got all the pyro and all that shit. But I don't know, part of me just feels like it is just for profits, but I think another part of it is because of how long it is, you can, I don't know.
It's all right. It's a hard thing to explain. Yeah, you got your weekly television shows, but pay-per-view basically is essentially, for example, in America, a lot of the wrestling things are on one channel, but with a pay-per-view, you can do more things on a pay-per-view than you can do in a normal television programming, for example.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what network you're on as well. So, for an example.
Yeah.
But the pay-per-view thing was all about being a spectacle and attracting people and attention, right? And for example, boxing has done pay-per-view for years. People buy fights to watch them on television.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like it's a really big deal. So a lot of it's a hype thing as well. So bear in mind, once upon a time, pay-per-view used to be like $50, $60 for an event, which, to put that into terms of English pounds, would be about £30-40.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when Royal Rumble, when I think it was the Royal Rumble in 2015, I think Sky were actually like doing like a thing for it where you could buy it on Sky. But Mum looked into it and then she was like, "No, we're not affording that."
No, because the thing is, up until not about 2 years or so ago, pay-per-views in the UK were shown on essentially Sky's normal sports channels, so you didn't have to pay extra for it. Okay, like unlike in America. So America, you'd have watch these programs on essentially their cable satellites, whatever it be. But then you'd have to pay the extra pay-per-views to watch the matches, the pay-per-view events like WrestleMania and so on.
Yeah.
We never used to have to do that, but about 2 years or so ago, Sky started putting those things on Sky Box Office.
Yeah.
And noticeably, their audience dropped because of it.
Yeah, and then obviously the networks come out.
I'll get to that. Then about a year after that happened, the WWE Network came out over here, and it was £10 a month to watch everything, including the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So, which will definitely get you more eyes peeled on to watch those products than it would do to people buying those pay-per-views. But people of a certain age who don't understand technology, for example, would never use something like the network. They'll always go to pay-per-view. So because they're afraid of change and modernization. It happens to most people, to be perfectly honest. So
yeah, I mean,
try it, go on.
I mean, personally, me and my family, when we were watching it and the network was over here in the UK, basically we would watch Raw highlights on a Sunday morning on Sky One. What was that? Was that your lips quivering while you huffed? So that was really adorable. Why is your eyebrow shut? What did you do? What have you sniffed? Sorry about that. But we used to watch the Raw highlights. They were an hour long on Sky One, and then Mum would be like, "Right, so these matches are coming up in like WrestleMania. Do we want to pay a tenner to watch WrestleMania like the day after it's been like, you know, filmed and like, well, been live and shit?" And we would either all vote yes or vote no, and that would be when we would buy the the network, but we wouldn't constantly pay out for it. We would literally just pay out for it for that month or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a bit easier because that way we don't have to fork out even more just to watch one pay-per-view.
I think, to be honest, that was the idea of the network, is to try and make it easier for people.
Mm.
And a lot of time, people hear about stuff and be, "Oh, that's good. Where can I watch that?" And what you find with pay-per-views, sometimes it's a limited time. It's like you can usually watch replays for a couple of days afterwards, and then it's gone. The thing
Yeah.
with something like the network is you can always go to stuff and get stuff, and so you'll always be able to pick up subscribers that way, which I think is useful.
Yeah.
But obviously, pay-per-view. The thing is, WrestleMania originally was done through something called closed circuit, and you're definitely not old enough to remember that, because that predates pay-per-view. Basically, what people used to do is they would pay to go to essentially a cinema, sit and watch the event on a big screen.
That actually sounds like fun.
Yeah, that was closed circuit. That's what it was.
Why don't they bring that back? That actually sounds like fun.
No idea, but I mean, it certainly has its upside. You can see it. For example, you imagine going to like your local cinema and you get to sit in a big, comfy chair. You can go get your concessions and your food and stuff, and then sit down and then watch your pay-per-view.
I'd love that.
Well, not your pay-per-view, like your event, like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, whatever it may be.
Yeah. It would be nice because then you could go with a couple of friends as well, or your family, and just, sit and watch it.
Yeah, I will point this out because I know the WWE fans who watch this program, but it's something I do need to point out. WrestleMania was WWE did not do the first ever pay-per-view. They like to claim they did, but they didn't. I'm
imagining that would be WCW.
Well, it was Jim Crockett Promotions at the time, but yes.
Yeah.
And this was before technically pay-per-view, so technically it wasn't, but it's the events in question that become pay-per-views, so technically we'll call them pay-per-views. But the first actual closed circuit thing like that became a pay-per-view is actually Starrcade.
All right.
So WWE fans who are more familiar with the product will know WWE do an actual house show in November every year now, and it's called Starrcade, and that's why. Isn't
that at Madison Square Gardens?
They do it in a variety of places, but that's what that show exists for, because WCW used to do that show. That was a WCW event. Also, another thing to clarify, because WWE have a habit of reusing names for promotions they've bought stuff for and sold. NXT a while back had an event called the Great American Bash. That was WCW's.
Mm-hmm.
The War Games that everyone's so fond of NXT, that name is WCW's. The match, however, is an abomination of it.
I still need to watch that thing that we discussed yesterday.
Yeah, don't mention it here because people need to go watch the Patreon show for that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you may enjoy those NXT War Games matches, and that's absolutely fine if you do. But it's not real War Games. It's NXT's version of it.
I mean, as somebody who has seen War Games and also watched, I believe, the first ever Women's War Games on NXT, that's what got me hooked onto NXT a lot more was War Games. Because, I watched how brutal they were, and then I refer back to, like, the cage matches that SmackDown and Raw have on, like, their pay-per-views. And I'm just like, I like the blood.
That's fair enough.
So, yeah.
So what I'd say to probably anyone who is, like Steph, who likes the particularly more violent stuff, is for WWE, if you want to find WWE stuff like that, you probably need to go back to the Attitude Era, which essentially is 1996 to 2002. And if you have the network, that's very easy to do. So,
yeah.
However, if you're on a modern day equivalent of that, that would be AEW, who are much more happy to do such things than WWE are.
Yeah, because WWE want to keep things as family friendly as possible, even though it's World Wrestling Entertainment.
Uh-huh.
And people who have been watching when it was the Federation are probably wanting more blood and guts.
Yeah, that's why they lost a lot of those fans, because they did that.
And then...
Sorry, go on.
I mean, they did try to do that with the whole eye for an eye match, but that was just, stupid.
Bad.
Yeah. It's just, I didn't really see the point in gouging out another, wrestler's eye. I didn't actually understand what creative and Vince were thinking about that.
Can't answer that. Hang on a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Something that happened in AEW not too long before that.
All right.
Is the Inner Circle did an angle, which is Jericho's group in AEW, where they blinded John Moxley, those of you who know him as Dean Ambrose, in one of his eyes. So he was wearing an eye patch.
So it's trying to do a one-up.
Yeah. And this was much worse. The Moxley one paid off big time.
Yeah.
So it relates to one of the things we talked about yesterday as well. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was actually his eye proper gouged out or not.
No, it was not.
Yeah, I figured as such, because, that would have been, a big lawsuit for Vince.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
The thing is, Vince would have watched that match and he would have gone, that's some good shit.
Yeah, no, if anything, all it did was make me want to smash my TV up. And I can't afford to do that.
Did it make you want to burn it down?
That's another thing. Please bring back his music, his old music, before this whole, holy shit. I don't know if they've changed it again recently.
Here's the vision.
Alright, put the Mind Stone back.
No, that's his new gimmick. It's the vision.
Yeah, I remember you briefly touching upon this the other day. But I remember him as the Messiah, which, again, shitty gimmick.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. You're welcome. Monty Python references.
Yeah. But it's just, why? Because, a Messiah is more of a religious aspect. Now, I get it.
I think that was the idea of the gimmick originally, because he had followers, but then they sacked them. And then the other one got sent to catering.
Ooh. Why? What did Murphy do?
Yeah, he got sent to catering. So.
Yeah, I imagined it because I hadn't seen the tag team. I've forgotten their name. I haven't seen that tag team.
AOP both got released.
Oh.
That's why you don't see them anymore.
Fair enough.
Seth lost them, and then Murphy was split off into a storyline which a lot of people didn't like, was him and Rey Mysterio's daughter.
Yeah,
I remember. He magically disappeared out the picture, and since then, up until recently, Murphy was pretty much in catering with Bo Dallas before Bo Dallas emerged as crispy Bray Wyatt.
Oh. Yeah, I heard about him being set alight. What's the point in, showcasing attempted murder?
Because Randy Orton's a nasty man, apparently.
No, he is a moron who shouldn't really listen to Vince and should go to AEW where he would be utilised properly.
The thing is, AEW do their fair share of this sort of stuff as well, but there's a difference between the way the two companies do it. But the thing is, I don't want to be bashing WWE and pushing out AEW over too much, because everyone has what they like, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
I have my personal preference to what I like.
Yeah.
But I don't think somebody else is wrong for liking what they like.
Oh, no, I don't either. I just feel like, I watched 5 minutes of AEW and feel like I stand more of a chance understanding the shit going on over there than the bullshit mix-up storylines that change every single fucking week on WWE.
I think, to be fair to WWE, I think the issues they have are fixable.
Well, yeah, fire.
It's not like it's the end of the world or anything. But even with the issues they have, they still have good matches with some of the wrestlers. So, for those, I would recommend, obviously, our WWE fans, I'd recommend, for those of you who haven't seen it, on night one of WrestleMania, Cesaro and Seth Rollins, and Sasha and Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
So, not going to say anything more than that, but those two matches you should definitely watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a case of, what was I going to say? Nope, it's gone, and I'm having a dog just stare at me right now, which probably needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need a wee-wee? Yeah, I take that wink as a yes. Right, give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no worries. So Stephanie's going to go take care of Mojo, because you need to when you have a doggo.
Yes. Also, another thing, because I'm also going to I'm going to saturate my habit as well.
All right. I will with our viewers, I'll go over a few things. So
I would just quickly back to our furry friend. If you do get one of his breeds, or you get a husky or anything like that, be prepared to walk 5 miles, even if it's in the snow. Exercise. They love that shit.
Yeah, also exercise.
Yeah, make sure you can
play.
I mean, because Mojo gets his exercise through walks, and also because we have a massive garden, he has massive playtime in the garden, and also in my room, like you saw, for like half an hour.
Exactly. So, which is probably some of the best content we've ever done. So,
yeah, I mean, feel free to use that content
on this channel. So
yeah.
But so Stephanie's going to go take care of Mojo and feed the nicotine habit, shall we say? And when she does so in a sec, I will go over some programming notices for what's going on for the following week. And I'm with some of that stuff there. Then I'll go over some of the things for WrestleMania. Okay. Right. So programming notices. This time next week, we'll be back to normal, regular 50-50 booking rather than a special. And we will be reviewing Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. It's going to be a long one, people, so make sure you get yourself comfy with some snacks and some drinks. And I'm sure after having a break this week, and hopefully would have recovered by then, Aaron will have a lot to speak about when it comes to those programs. Obviously, I will have my input as well as normal, but Aaron is literally going to sat through and watched all of them, so this should be interesting. See what sort of state he's in. I haven't been able to do so because I've been busy, basically. So obviously, I've got shows I have to do as well, and also I have a job I do. So yeah. So there is that. Other programming notices, obviously, for any of you who cross-watch our shows, there is no Sorting Stuff podcast on Wednesday because none of us are ever available to do it. I am endeavouring to find to sort out some sort of content to put up on Wednesday, so you guys have something to watch if to fill the gap. Failing that, Saturday will be the next other thing, which will be the Broken Film Show, which we'll be talking about 50 Shades of Grey for anyone who's interested in that. If it's your thing, great. If not, that's okay too. Then, of course, 50-50 booking is back on the Sunday, which will probably be about 8 p.m. unless something changes. And that's when we'll go over all that sort of stuff as well. Okay. Let's see. Do we have other things to talk about as far as that sort of stuff goes? Right. Oh, sorry, guys. I've had a long day. I've actually been out working today, so on top of doing all this stuff as well. I would say, obviously, for anyone who's watching, if you have any questions about what we're talking about as far as basic stuff to do with wrestling that you may not know or may not understand or follow, or if you have a question in general about the wrestling business, then by all means get in touch and we'll see what we can do for you as far as answering it goes. And see how that works. Or if you have doggy questions to whoever the ask, because Mojo's been on this show that much. If you've got a doggy question, we're quite happy to try and answer those for you too. So, but obviously, this is pretty much a wrestling thing. So, for those of you who are having interest in it, then just let us know, and we will see what we can answer for you guys. Because I think it's kind of a important thing we can do if possible, because the world and all that. So yeah. Oh, let's see, what can we do? Right. Oh yeah, right, yeah. Yesterday, just thought of this, probably should have explained it. We did a Patreon 50-50 booking. And we discussed how I got into wrestling, watching wrestling and other such stuff like that. So that I thought that could be quite interesting for those of you who want to watch it. So if you're a patron, you can go check that out by basically going through our Patreon links. If you can't find it, just send us a message and we can always send you direct links to those so you can find them, which I think it'll be a fun thing for people to see and go over. And always happy to hear what people's stories are when it comes to how they got into watching, because it's a big thing to know where people come. I would be interested to know where a lot of people's background was of how they got into essentially watching, wrestling, because I think it could be kind of fun. Because we all have ways we get into stuff. So obviously, you guys want to know mine, you can check out on the Patreon show. Stephanie's already covered what hers are. What I will probably do on the next 50-50 booking is actually, no, I don't have to do that, because if you go back to the very first show of 50-50 booking I did with Aaron, we cover what Aaron's was, to be perfectly honest, how Aaron got into this sort of stuff. So yeah, don't really have to do that. But yeah, check out the Patreon show if you want to know my guessings of wrestling. I think it would be illuminating for a few of you, and you might learn a few things. Plus, there's some recommendations of things to watch, which I think could be quite useful for people who want to get into stuff, or if you just want to see some decent stuff. I have some recommendations.
Hi.
And there you go. So now Stephanie is back. Also, before we go back to talking about the wrestling stuff, seeing as he has spent much time on this show, and we're going to put him over.
Yeah.
Mojo's Instagram.
Let's go show him some love. He's going to have a few more posts up soon. Yeah, it's a fairly new account. But yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, check out the lovely Mojo, because you should.
And he will be coming to this Patreon hopefully very soon.
Yeah, so we'll have to come up with some interesting ideas. I'm sure we will. So
we will. He does a bunch of cool stuff. So
yeah, I was just explaining to the guys about the Patreon show that we did yesterday. The fact I was talking about how I got into watching wrestling and stuff like that, and the bunch of recommendations that I gave.
Yeah, I mean, as Peter's niece, I've never heard how he got into wrestling. So it was quite, it was a nice way to hear about someone getting into wrestling. It's also one of the least common stories I've heard as well. And it is quite intriguing. So yeah, go check out Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have heard Steph say today, and as I explained to you while Steph was gone, Aaron explained the very first show we did, because it was something I asked him about, because I thought it'd be interesting to know.
Yeah.
So, and as I said to you guys, if you want to let us know what your stories are, we'd be interested to know those too.
Oh yeah, definitely, because everyone has their own different ways of how they got into wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, it's intriguing to hear other people's stories because then you can see who got into it similar, like in a similar fashion to you as well. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so where was we when you disappeared? Do you remember?
Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo.
Pretty
Let's
much.
see.
But
Trying to think.
we were talking about the whole Messiah gimmick, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Let's get away from that because that's. I don't really want to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, could mention a couple of my favorite wrestlers.
We were going to get to that because I'm also going to ask you some of your favorite matches as well.
Right. Okay. Civ brain, but sure. So, what do we start with first?
We'll go with your wrestlers because I'm assuming that will be easier for you. It gives you time to think about the matches.
Yeah. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, I had disclosed this, and he has been my all-time favorite since I started watching wrestling.
Shane McMahon.
Don't get me wrong, him on NCIS was pretty cool, or CSI, whatever it was.
It was CSI, I think. But
yeah.
Okay, was it Vince?
No.
Was it Linda?
No, none of the McMahons are going to be on my list. I hate to break this to you, but they did not make the list.
Yay, wrestling term.
But the first one who did make the list was The Undertaker. And yeah, as soon when I first got into wrestling, I thought he was quite terrifying because I watched a promo of his with Paul Bearer in it. First time I saw him.
Stephanie, you will never rest in peace.
Yes. But I was terrified of Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer? Why? Because Paul Bearer is like, oh yes, my Undertaker.
It was the way he looked. I mean, bear in mind, this is 5-6-year-old me here, watching The Undertaker for the first time with a promo with Paul Bearer, and you know, the little urn and all of this. And I'm just like, I'm sat there bricking it the whole time. And then I see him wrestle. I cannot remember who he was against. However, when I watched him wrestle the whole time, because it was a match that he won as well. I mean, didn't he win a match? But
he won a lot.
Yeah, he has won quite a few. And as soon as he won, I cheered. And ever since then, when I was playing in my room with my Barbies, Mum would have the wrestling on in like the living room. I would hear the bell toll, and that was it. I'd come running in and sit in front of the
TV. Well, he's one of those wrestlers where the minute you hear that, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah. I mean, also when he did the American Badass gimmick as well.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to be dead, man. I want to be a badass.
Yeah. It's, you know, even when as soon as that came on, I was sat in the front room. I got so freaked out because I'd never heard that one. I never heard his entrance music like that before. As soon as I saw who it was, I was just like...
Yeah, I'm one of those rare people when it comes to The Undertaker. I've obviously not this bit. I'm not a big fan of the Badass. What I liked him when he was Big Evil.
See,
it's not so much his music, it was more of the attitude that he had.
See, I've only known him as the Phenom and American Badass.
Well, Big Evil came just after the American Badass.
I think that's when I tuned out.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I can understand. So basically, when he was Big Evil, he was literally like uber heel. And yeah, and it was fun to watch.
I might have to go back and watch it. and like find some clips and watch that because that sounds.
He would pulverize people, and it was fun.
Oh, see, I want to do that, but I think for me, I think one of the funny, like for comedy wise, the match that I found comedy like really comical was one of his last few matches, and it was the cinematic match between him and AJ.
Oh, the Bonehead match.
Yeah, the Boneyard match. I loved every single second of it.
No. The Bonehead match.
Yeah. But do I think he was too old to be doing some of the shit? Yeah. Do I still think it was a good one? Yes. And I feel like Taker for me. All right, give me 2 seconds. Mojo's kicking off.
Mm-hmm. That's always fun. But yeah, you always have to be very attentive when you have a dog like Mojo. So bear that in mind. I mean, yeah, Steph's favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. So obviously, those of you who are long-term fans know The Undertaker was Mark Calloway, and the man's given a lot to wrestling. And there's a lot of people who like critical of what he's doing now. I will say this now: if you can do a job like he's done for 30 odd years, and get what he has, do what he did, and give us so much pleasure, so much entertainment, so much joy, I don't care what he does now. I hope he's happy. So many people are, we shouldn't do that because he's the Undertaker. Why not? The guy's retired now. Well, we'll see if that sticks. But honestly, I think he should just be allowed to just try and be happy and live a nice life with his wife. I don't see the issue. I don't. But there's a lot of people out there who do. And I'll say this to all of you people, from me to all of you, let the guy be happy. He deserves to be happy. After all the moments and entertainment he's given all of us, I think it's about time he was allowed to be just Mark. And if you want to watch The Undertaker, there's over 30 years worth of matches and memories you can go back and watch on the network or YouTube, whatever your thing may be. You get to enjoy it. Now, Stephanie should be back any second now, I think. There we
Hi.
go. Hi.
Chaos. But right,
was Mojo doing his American Badass impersonation?
No, he got one of my younger siblings' teddy bears. So that was quite the run around the house and run around the back garden.
Did you get it all right?
Yeah, I got it fine. I have a squeaker from one of his old chew toys that I use to deter him. That's probably why you saw me like kind of flash on and off the screen again.
Mm.
So, where did we get to?
Undertaker.
So, I mean, I personally, I know it's one of the weirder ones for a child to like, gimmick-wise, considering he, the whole Ministry of Darkness and shit, but this is the teddy bear I've had since I was a kid. This will show you what kind of kid I was. So,
boo.
So yeah, this kind of gives you an idea what kind of kid I was. So yeah, for my family, not a surprise at all. But for viewers, you just see girly girl hairdresser.
Yeah. You were going to talk about a comedy match that he was.
Yeah, the Boneyard match between him and AJ. I found that quite comical. I mean, do I really agree with him wrestling at that point? No, I feel like at that point, too old. However, I get the whole cinematic thing was due to his age. So, yeah, but it was, for me, at the end where he pushed AJ into, like, the grave. and buried him alive, so to speak. And then he pulled away like all like the leaves and shit to reveal the headstone thing. I think that gave me the biggest laugh. That was one of my favorites. But I think the match between him and I believe it was Brock Lesnar that broke the streak.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, him against Brock. I loved that storyline. I hated Brock, but I've never been a big fan of Brock Lesnar.
Okay. This is the if you for those who've never seen the match, the after match, there's this guy that they go to in the crowd with the camera, and this is the look on his face.
Yeah, I remember that. But so yeah, I personally wasn't happy. I cried when the streak got broken, but then obviously, I believe it was a year later he had his retirement match.
No, it wasn't.
No, but it was meant to be.
No, it wasn't, because that's actually the match that followed. The next time he did a WrestleMania was Bray Wyatt.
Oh wait, no. So it was the one afterwards. Because, yeah, I remember the one with Bray now. Mm-hmm. I'm losing track of shit. But
yeah,
his retirement match, so to speak, with Roman Reigns would have been
sexy striptease.
Yes, I feel like that would have been the perfect match to end on for his career. It was a great match, and the timing is right. And then he comes back and does the whole thing with AJ. And I believe there was one other person that he wrestled with before he retired. But he retired dead on 30 years of his career.
Yeah, I think the main reason why he came back after that WrestleMania match was because I think that literally is when he wanted to retire, legitimately. Because literally, after he does the sexy striptease, the very next thing he does is he leaves the ring, goes over and kisses his wife.
Yeah.
Something he'd never done before. Okay. And, if he'd gone off to the sunset, and I would have been happy for him and good for him. I think the reason he came back is purely down to the fact Vince needed him. And Mark Calloway, and people can testify to this because there's stories of this, is a very loyal man. So he thought, if he needs me, I'm going to try and help him as best I can.
Yeah, I mean, I know he still does like coach work and training work with other superstars behind the scenes now, because he was doing that before he became back to get screen time and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I do know that he still works behind the scenes with WWE. But, one hell of a wrestler that his gimmick won't, I don't think ever could be replicated or should.
Well, the thing is with that gimmick, it never should have worked in the first place, and it only worked because it was the right person at the right time.
Yes.
A complete and utter fluke. But it only works because it was Mark. No one else could have done it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anyone else like Mark, if they gave it to Kane, for instance.
Well, Kane was different because Kane was later, but also Kane's gimmick is different.
Yeah, but if they gave Taker's gimmick to Kane, I don't think that would have worked.
No, and that's why they didn't, to be fair. That was actually back when they did sensible booking. So
hey! But yes.
simpler times.
Yeah. He is my all-time favorite wrestler. Another a newer favorite of mine is Rhea Ripley, because when I first saw her, it was in War Games, and it was the very first War Games as well that the women were featured in, I think.
One moment. War Games!
Mojo!
Yeah, I was going to say, we all know who that was who just came through the door.
Come sit. Come sit. You'll get your fur brushed, yeah? Come here. What is? Come on. Oh.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Rhea Ripley, as you just mentioned.
Come on. Ow. Come on. Come on, you get first. Come on.
So obviously, you was mentioning about Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not familiar with Rhea Ripley, because she's just literally emerged onto the main WWE roster to have the Women's World Title match for the Raw title, which is actually the night to WrestleMania, so it's tonight as we talk for us in the UK. It's the funny thing with that particular young lady is the fact of, have you ever heard her do a promo at all?
Yes, I believe I have, and I believe it was the NXT after War Games.
Yeah, because that usually the minute you the minute you hear Rhea Ripley talk, it's kind of obvious, but she's Australian.
Yeah, but I've seen a bit of her backstory as well, because she actually was in one of the Mae Young Classics.
Yeah, 2017's.
Yeah, and I remember she lost, and she had this whole like kind of girly girl gimmick, and then she came back with the gimmick that she has now. Come on, get on the bed properly, and I'll brush your fur. Come on. Come on, brush time.
So Rhea Ripley also holds a special distinction when it comes to women WWE titles.
Yeah.
She's the only UK NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
She's held them both.
Relax.
By the way, guys, that is not Stephanie's stomach, that is Mojo.
I'm trying to brush your fur. Ow!
I think that's no.
Kind of a yes and a no, because this brush is like a double-sided brush, and he likes this side, but not so much this side. But I need to do this side to get the knots out.
Really, I can't imagine why he'd not like that.
Ow! Bite, Mark. Come here, let me brush your fur.
Steph, what do you expect? He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that side of the brush.
No, but I need to dematify his butt. Yes, I do. Needs to look nice for Ghost.
Ghost don't care about his butt. Ghost just cares about the big D.
Well, I need to make sure you look presentable, so come here.
That's a fair point.
You want me to come to you?
Yeah.
After. Right, so back to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, back to Rhea Ripley.
I feel like as well, her like how her style as well. No, why? Because what? Did you just call me an asshole?
Yeah.
No, not my bed. You being cocky? You are.
Now remember, guys, if you want to see more of Mojo, this is Instagram.
You want the last bit of your rabbit?
So,
Do you want the rabbit? Come here then. I don't have the. Oh, there's the big bit. Come on.
Funny part is apparently Mojo was fine with Stephanie talking about The Undertaker, but the minute she mentioned Rhea Ripley, he had to get involved.
You like Rhea Ripley? Rhea Ripley? Who dat? She a wrestler. Yeah. Oh. What? Do you want to hear me talk more about Rhea Ripley? No? Alright, who should I talk about now? Shayna? Sure.
Hey, he knows what he likes.
You like Shayna Baszler? Yeah? Is it because she's vicious? Is that why you like her?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't like Nia Jax because he doesn't like her hole.
Do you like Nia Jax? The evils I'm getting right now. Nia Jax? Nia Jax? Hang on. Rhea Ripley. Oh, now he's walked off.
Wow. Doesn't like women's wrestling, apparently.
No, not the shower cat, Mojo. No, not the shower cat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you want to play with the cardboard tube? Would you like to play with the cardboard? Yeah. Oh no, look at this. Hang on. Just. Oh,
no, there we go.
You want it? It's just a cardboard tube.
He don't care. Relate to it this way. It's like kids and bubble wrap.
It's like, I mean, his favorite like piece of rubbish is plastic bottles, like Coca-Cola bottles especially. They're his favorite.
Yeah, I have seen evidence of this, so I know.
Yes. Oh.
But apparently he's not.
Can I talk about Rhea Ripley now?
Apparently he's not a fan of women's wrestling.
Not a fan of the ladies wrestling, huh? Yeah, this is the price you pay for having the cardboard tube. So back to Miss Ripley.
Well, you can, yeah.
Yeah. So I personally like, you know, the determination that she has as a wrestler, and also like how she performs as well. She's right. I'm gonna give you a collar break, okay? I'm taking this off you now. I'm trying to get your collar off so I can brush around your collar. All right, and give you a collar break. Relax. No, you're not playing with it. Jesus, you need that intact.
He's like, says you.
What was that? Do you want to bite the handle? Of course you do. So that's one of the reasons why I like Rhea Ripley, and also, what did you get in your mouth? Oh, did you have a bit of cardboard stuck in your teeth? Can I let Mama brush? So yeah, I like the determination the character has as well, and also like you can see that's coming through from her as a person, and it isn't just for like her gimmick. You're not eating the actual brush head. Oh, yeah, nice soft side. But yeah, so I think my favorite match with her includes another wrestler that I'm quite fond of.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Shayna Baszler, and that was for the NXT Women's Championship, of which Ripley won. And I remember that one. Hello, darling. Oh, hello. Got a massive knot there. So, yes. I mean, do you want to add anything onto Rhea, or?
I think you've pretty much done most of the major stuff, to be honest, when it comes to Rhea Ripley.
Shayna Baszler? Am I right to talk about her? No, not Boo. No.
Yeah, sorry, Mojo. That one. Yeah, that one is. Yeah, that one is more than your life's worth.
Do you want this? Go on, take the carcass. So, yeah. But, so obviously my next favourite would be Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Now, I prefer how she was in NXT.
I think everyone prefers how she was in NXT.
Yeah, I mean, considering the shit show that she's having to put up with now.
You mean the fact her tag partner is my hole?
Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Shayna, she is a much better singles competitor compared to tag team.
Well, I think that comes from the fact that Shayna Baszler used to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah. I think my favourite feud with her was the one with Becky Lynch. And the part that I remember, at least I hope I'm remembering correctly, is where she actually bit a chunk out of the back of Becky's neck.
She did, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I don't know if that was actually biting or what. I don't know.
I know it was certainly meant to seem that way. Whether she actually bit her, I don't know. I would like to assume not.
Yeah, same, but it's Vince we're talking about here.
And you might have thought it was real good shit.
Yeah. Are you enjoying this cardboard tube?
He probably is. And if he is, leave him to it.
I mean, he's currently chewing it while it's in my hand. You want to play tug of war again? It's not going to end well for you, is it? As long as you don't put my shoulder out again, we're fine.
Okay, viewers and people, who's putting bets on Mojo and who's betting on Steph?
I mean, I just won that one.
Wow.
Your teeth are too sharp. Oh, here we go. Hey, Mama won. Mama won. Do you want to go again? Oh, Mummy won again. Look at that. Mama won. Mummy won! I don't think you're going to win with this, mate. Don't! Are you licking my freaking towel? Why did you lick the bloody plug tower? I'd rather you didn't do that.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, now I've got to be careful because I'm by his whiskers. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doggies have whiskers too. It's not just a cat thing.
Yeah, you do need to be very careful. But yeah, with Shayna Baszler, definitely much better as a singles wrestler. And what you need to do is just let her go back to what she was in NXT, which was killer, badass, beats people, be vicious, as opposed to the joke that she currently is on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, a good match to watch with her, again, Rhea Ripley's match. But I think another one would be, again, the War Games match, because she was also in that, and how she fought in War Games was pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. What did you do? Mojo, no, not my dressing gown, Jesus Christ, no, son, no.
I would probably also, as far as Shayna goes, go with the pretty much any of the matches she had while she was the champion.
Yeah, because she had a really long undefeated streak. Not as long as Asuka's.
No, but nobody has that.
Yeah, no, nobody does. I don't think.
No.
But
it's the longest one that I know of, as far as from debut.
What are you doing? Mojo, where's Mama go? What are you doing over there?
But bear in mind, that is a legitimate streak and not a kayfabe one.
Yeah.
I.e. Bob Backlund.
I just threw a bit of the rabbit and it landed on his back.
Wow. But yeah, that would be what I'd suggest as Shayna, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see another really good match for what? You want to wrestle?
Told you, he doesn't like women's wrestling. It's quite clear.
You want to wrestle? Give Mummy a minute. She's just replying to this thing. Want to wrestle? You do. Who would you like to wrestle against?
Well, he's not really got much of a choice, has he, Steph?
Do you want to wrestle with yourself? No?
Do you think maybe he watched Fight With My Family too many times and he thought that's a good idea?
You want to fight with your family? Yep. No? Mixed signals match?
Do you wish to fight with a particular member of your family?
That huff and groan. You're on my slippers, dude. That look just says no fucks given. But
Like
back to what
Shayna.
we're talking about. Right, so a quick thing, because I did forget this match and it's only just come into my head. Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai for the championship again for NXT. Honestly, the talent Io Shirai has with Rhea Ripley's talent, honestly, that was one of the best matches that I have seen for a while. And again, NXT, which obviously, you know, Paul owns, well, not owns, but that's Paul's little baby.
He books it and runs it, essentially.
Yeah, that's literally Paul's little tiny area. And that's, for people who do not know, Triple H.
You mean the game? Because I want to book NXT as I want, because I'm the game.
Oh, that smile. Just offered Mojo a fight with Triple H. I might have to make a Triple H doll for him to fight.
Because it's all about the mojo and how he does it.
Do you want to be a wrestler?
We all know he'd be a fan favorite, and he would get a mega push and be so over.
Oh, fuck yeah. Wouldn't you? Yeah. Oh, that grin. Are you tuckered out now? Yeah.
To be fair, he has had quite a lot of exercise today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he had me playing tennis with my sister where he was running back and forth with the ball. And then obviously he's had playtime here. And then when I went down for a smoke to get him out to go pee, he also wanted to play fetch. So he's also had that today.
Yeah. And that's cool, because that's what you need to do with a dog like Mojo. So.
Yeah.
So what's your next port, of course, Steph, for people?
I mean, I have one more, and this is kind of unpopular because, yes, okay, he's a dick. But, Shawn Michaels.
Because he's not cute. He has no hair. He can't wrestle. And he makes you all shit.
Hello.
He does the drugs. He fucks the ladies. But now he's a born-again Christian. A born-again Christian.
I purely like Shawn Michaels for the comedy factor that he has with Triple H. That is literally the main reason why I like him. I mean, this was back when D-Generation X was first a thing.
Define time, please.
I can't remember the exact time, but it was... I think it was either the first or second time they
Who was in DX at the time?
Him, Triple H, China, and why do I want to say Bulldog?
So if it's him, if it's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and China, then that's the first version. Okay. Okay. That I at least understand. I never liked DX, but I understand I understand it's appealing to some people, so I understand that at least.
I think for me it was more a case of when they used to rip it into Vince as well and like fuck with his mic.
Do you think this is funny?
Yeah. And then, you know, drawing penises by his mouth, you know, the whole like what teenagers do in secondary school. Yeah. You know, it was quite fun for me to watch.
For those of you who want to see a funny skit that involves these two people taking the mick out of their McMahons, you need to see the skit they do where Hunter dresses up as Vince and Shawn dresses up as Shane. You can probably find it out there on YouTube or on the network if you have it. If you've never seen it before, if you like Steph and you like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, If they're comedics together, you'll probably appreciate that.
Yeah. And there is one, well, technically two, but I'm going to put them as one. And they are I think they are my favorite female wrestlers. And
let me guess. You can look, but you can't touch. And Primo.
Yes, say what you want about them. However, I can kind of relate to them a little bit with like sibling rivalry and shit.
We should probably explain, just to be clear to anyone who doesn't know who that is. It's the Bella twins.
Yeah, Nikki and Brie Bella.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched them outside of wrestling as well. I've seen Total Divas, Total Bellas. I watched their YouTube. I followed them on their Instagram and stuff.
Hang on, did you say you saw them Total Bellends?
What? No, I said Total Bellas.
Just checking.
Oh, Mojo, why are you licking my slipper?
Because he doesn't want to watch Total Divas.
Do you have a Netflix, my man? Because, those have had my feet in them for quite a while now.
Yeah, you mentioned about watching Total Bellas, and he thought, no, I'm not watching that. But seriously, Steph, go on.
And, they own a couple of businesses as well. Like Birdie Bee, which is their clothing line. Nicole and Breezy, which is their hair care brand. And also, they own a wine brand as well. And I think there's a few other bits that they do outside of WWE. And they've actually inspired me to look at opening my own business as well, because I'm looking at how far they've come as well. And, also Mateo, which is Nikki Bella's and Artem's little boy. So cute.
Okay. I'm gonna get back to that in a sec, but basically, Nicole and Breezy sounds like Seven Dwarfs characters from Snow White. They sound like dwarfs. Right? It's funny, but secondly, and this is all in all seriousness, this is not a joke part, right? Say what you like about Nikki and Brie Bella, a lot of people will. However, they've made the most of what they've got, and I will not knock them for that, because they have made the most of their opportunities and they've made stuff work for them. They've made stuff happen for themselves, and all the success they get from that, good on them. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, and also the way because Nikki had a neck injury as well, and then when she came back from that, and because I remember watching it all on Total Divas, like her surgeries and everything, and the amount of
surgeries.
I mean, I'm on about the neck one, not the boob job.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, looking at how much determination and how much mixed emotions she went through to get back in the ring. I mean, she had to alter her main move, which was the rack attack. And now there's I know there's a 2.0, because the first one included a lot of putting weight on her neck, and she couldn't do that anymore.
Well, essentially, it was like a backbreaker, but she dropped to her knees to drop people onto her shoulders, and that's right at the top of the back.
Yeah. And, watching her come back from the neck injury was really, inspiring, especially, I know it's not the same thing, but when you bounce back from having like really bad mental health days, for me anyway, that's kind of why I can kind of relate to Nikki a bit more than Brie.
That's fair enough. But the thing with that, though, particularly with Brie Bella is always going to be more popular than Nikki to wrestling fans, and there's a simple reason why.
Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Because here's the thing, whether you like Daniel Bryan's wrestler or not, the man is just, people just like the guy.
Yeah.
Okay? Him as a person. I don't know anyone who doesn't. So,
yeah,
and she's his wife, so it says something about her.
I mean, yeah, they also have two beautiful little children, Buddy and Birdie.
Mm-hmm.
But what did make me laugh was literally a week after Brie found out she was pregnant, Nikki finds out that she's pregnant, and you know they had their babies within 24 hours of each other.
I have a little story for you, Steph. You may like that. You've heard this before. You may be aware that Brie Bella has bear claws tattoo. It's just above where her lady bits are downstairs. Yeah. And there's a story behind those because literally after she got those done, there used to be a program called Saturday Morning Slam, right? Daniel Bryan did commentary for that match, for one of the matches on it, and he kept on going about how much about wrestling a bear. Okay. Yeah, for the entire thing. And when some bloke in one of the matches put on a bear hug, he starts shouting, "The bear hug! The bear hug!"
Oh dear God.
It's fantastic. If you can find it anywhere, people, I recommend it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially in context of that tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favorite matches, I have a couple. One of them being Nikki versus Brie. You know, that was quite, because I believe there was a Divas title match involved somewhere along that feud.
There has been at one point, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and the other one is Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon at SummerSlam I believe it was to get her job back, because a brief bit of context for the storyline behind it was Brie quit, Stephanie started being a bitch to Nikki, and Brie was watching in the audience and then, you know, challenged Stephanie at SummerSlam in order to get her job back and her stop being a bitch to her sister.
Oh, there's a bit you've missed out there, by the way, as far as build-up goes. Brie was in a crowd for an event watching, and basically Stephanie ended up slapping Brie.
Oh yeah, I forgot that bit.
Okay. Bear in mind, at the time, Brie was not a wrestler. Kayfabe. We'll get to that in a minute. Just the kayfabe thing. So basically, Brie got Stephanie arrested by the police.
Yeah, which I did find quite funny.
Sorry. The police.
Yeah, pretty much just backstage security dressed up in like stripper outfits, but there you go.
I'll get to who that stuff normally is in it, because I'll touch upon kayfabe because we haven't yet. It's probably something we should do. Yeah,
but I mean, there was one thing that during that feud, during the Nikki and Brie feud, please do look up the mediation with Jerry Lawler in it, and you will see some very unpopular things said.
Yeah, we talk about this on the Patreon show we did yesterday.
Yes.
We are not mentioning it here, though. Okay?
No, I would look it up. It was a talk. It was a promo with Jerry Lawler involved.
It was a segment, essentially, where they were supposed to do like a mediation.
Yeah, so just literally type into YouTube. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. Jerry Lawler,
Nikki Brie Bella segment with Jerry Lawler.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah, but so you wanted to talk about kayfabe?
I think we probably should, because it's an important thing when it comes to wrestling in general.
Yeah.
Do you understand kayfabe?
I'm assuming it is pretty much the character. They can't break out of character.
Kayfabe is much more than that. Kayfabe is literally the backbone of the wrestling business. Okay?
Right.
Because for those of you who are unaware of wrestling's origins, it comes from carnivals. Okay. And carnival, what they used to do is they used to have people obviously go around. You'd have people go who try different stuff. Now, what used to happen, I'm going to explain the origin of a certain word here in a minute. People try all the attractions and stuff. This was a thing, right? And if they found someone who would like spend money and lose at the games, right, which usually were rigged, someone would actually go up behind these people and put a little mark on them, and it would tell all the other stall holders or performers that this person was easy to con. In other words, they were a mark.
So that's what that word comes from.
Right. Basically, it means they're gullible and easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where the term mark comes from. Now, the kayfabe thing is literally a case of, for many, many, many years, people never definitively knew that wrestling was predetermined.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the main thing for kayfabe. Obviously, nowadays it's different. Also, some wrestlers, as you kind of alluded to, didn't break their characters. Undertaker was a big one, for example. That didn't
Yeah.
happen. He didn't break character until pretty much when he was supposed to retire. And there's some characters, some wrestlers, even once they retired, never broke kayfabe. So basically, kayfabe is essentially keeping up the story of wrestling, no matter where you are.
So it's just basically keeping up appearances for the company.
There you go. Yeah. I'm explaining it simply for people, so I don't have to go into lots of detail. But that's what kayfabe is essentially. So if you ever hear somebody say "kayfabe me, brother," it literally means do the story.
Yeah.
Tell me a story, basically, because that's what kayfabe essentially is sell me the lie. But sometimes with a lie, this is the kayfabe is the one time where something like that, even though it's a lie for your own. It's a lie to entertain you.
Oh yeah.
It's not meant maliciously in the wrestling business, or not nowadays anyway. It's done purely for entertainment value.
Yeah. I mean, especially now that we all, especially with some of the shit show matches there's WWE today, you can kind of tell that it's all predetermined and shit. Because you see opportunities where they clearly would have won it. You know.
I think particularly in modern day wrestling, and WWE particularly are very guilty, but they're not the only ones by any means. And that's distractions. Oh, look, someone's music's playing on the Titantron. I must go and look at the Titantron and ignore the person in the ring.
Yeah. It's just, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does make sense.
Yeah. The thing is, though, particularly with wrestling, what you've got to do as a wrestling fan, if you're going to watch wrestling, to a certain degree, you have to suspend disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you if you logically think about wrestling, you know.
Yeah. I feel like wrestling, much like a TV show and other things, because we kind of did touch upon it yesterday, it's purely escapism.
As it should be, yeah.
Yeah.
But the issue with a lot of TV shows and movies nowadays is people are trying to put the real world into escapism, and that's not where that stuff belongs.
No, I'm sorry. I watch certain films and stuff to get away from shit. I don't want things being politically correct and all. Right, this is a burst thing, but there you go.
Yeah, the thing, yeah, but wrestling for the most part. I mean, yes, for WWE they've toned down, but that wasn't the case so much done to be for an agenda purpose. It was very specifically done because WWE wanted a particular type of advertiser to draw to their company, and if they'd kept doing violence and blood and guts and stuff, it was not going to happen. So they toned down to cater to what they wanted. That I respect. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. They wanted people like Mattel and MB and Skittles and Coca-Cola, people like, and they got them once they stopped doing the violent stuff. So it clearly worked for them.
Yeah, it's just now they've lost fans from the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Because of it. Because, as a younger person who watches wrestling every now and again, I watch it when I'm angry and I watch it for the blood. Because contrary to some people's belief, I can be very violent, and watching wrestling calms me down because I like watching people beat the shit out of other people.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you watch that stuff in wrestling, you know for a fact, for the most part, unless something really goes wrong, there's no long-term harm.
Yeah, it's literally you just get a bruise here, a bruise there, and maybe a split lip, or
or FYI, if you're wrestling someone like Walter, you'll get a busted chest. But other than that,
or if you're someone like Nia Jax, you may all of a sudden just scream my hole.
My hole. Or if you're Sean Waltman trying to do Bronco Busters in the corner. I told Steph about this yesterday on the Patreon, so most of you guys are going to be aware of what that refers to.
I actually found a clip of it last night.
Did you find it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand why it's funny now? Yeah.
Oh my god! But yes, I found it. If you finally calmed down, Jesus, took you like 3 hours.
It's fine. He's all good. We enjoy having him here.
Yeah, but
you were going to speak then, Steph. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think what I was going to say.
We were talking about Sean Waltman's busted ass.
Oh yeah. Which now leads us on to favourite matches.
Great segue there. Well done.
Hey.
Segue away.
But I will just throw in for comedy value as well.
Sean Waltman's ass.
No. Now, it's not really fair to Lana, but one of the things that makes me piss myself laughing is the amount of times that woman has been thrown through a table. I feel bad for her. And in a sense, I feel like that was them having a jab at, like, Toby Miro, or Miro, whatever his name is, in AEW, because he left.
You would think that, but apparently, according to certain wrestling journalists, and these guys are quite credible, apparently it's not related.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's kind of a funny coincidence then how Rusev left the WWE, moved to AEW, and now she's getting slammed through a table by this whale, essentially.
Yeah, but of course these particular journalists, and they're both very reliable journalists, they're saying apparently it's not related, and I've got no reason to doubt these guys.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Pretty much most of what, I'd say probably 98% of what they report is turns out to be right. And if you have that kind of percentage rate, I tend to be quite inclined to go with you.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough, but you know, I feel sorry for her.
Okay, I'll give credit where credit is due here because I'm that kind of nice person. The one particular journalist in question who mentioned this is a guy called Sean Ross Sapp, and for those of you who don't know who he is, he runs the Fight For website, and he's very good at reporting stuff. Always checks his facts, doesn't spread false news. If he says something, he's pretty. I would go with him because the man is a straight up dude.
I mean, that's fair enough. But so yeah, that's one of the comedy things for me. But one of my favorite, like, I think for me, a favorite match of mine was the Women's Royal Rumble where Asuka won in 2020. And this was purely based on what happened afterwards.
I thought it was because she got rid of the Bellas.
No. Did I see Royal Rumble? No, I meant Money in the Bank. Sorry. So, yeah. Money in the Bank.
I was going to point out, because that Royal Rumble, by the way, she eliminated Nikki Bella at the end, who actually eliminated her sister. And at the end of that Rumble is when you got Ronda Rousey come out.
Yeah. But, yeah, I actually did mean to say Money in the Bank.
Okay.
And so...
Money in the Bank that Asuka won, to be clear.
Yeah, she did. But, the reason why I like that was the outcome for Asuka. Now, this is a big spoiler.
Well, it's not nowadays because we all know what happened. But yeah, basically this was unveiled on the Raw that followed, the Money in the Bank.
Yes. Becky Lynch comes out with the briefcase. And I believe Asuka's already out there because I believe she just cut a promo with Charlotte. And Charlotte's walked off and... Mojo, you farted because it stinks.
Woo! Probably.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, Asuka's out there. Out comes
Yep.
Becky.
She has the briefcase in hand. She plonks it on the table and says to Asuka to open it, I'm pretty sure. So she opens it, and there's the championship inside the briefcase. And the words that followed was, I believe, you go off and be a champion because I'm going to go off and be a mother.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Exact words.
And that was how Becky Lynch announced that she was pregnant.
Obviously, Steph knew beforehand. But
Well, do. I mean, could you imagine not knowing that your missus is pregnant, even though, you were the one who did the nasty?
that'd be a fantastic way to announce it. And if he didn't know, and he sat back there watching the monitors, like, what?
You're like, what? How am I be a daddy? Ah. But yeah,
you know what'd be funny with that is when she got backstage, Steph goes up to him and goes, Bex, hon, dear, can you break it down for me? And then she turns around and she goes, break it down!
That would have been incredible.
Yes,
but
anyway, you were going to say, Steph, sorry, before I interrupted that.
So,
interlude joke.
Oh, we love that though. That's fine. But I think the best part for me was watching Asuka's actual reaction because Asuka didn't know.
Well,
no one else knew other than Creative, Vince, and Seth and Becky.
Yeah.
So it was watching her reaction of becoming champion and, also finding out one of her close colleagues is pregnant. It was a really sweet reaction. But again, Asuka is one hell of a talent, and I can really appreciate her work. I think, again, I've mentioned another favourite match, which was the Lesnar versus Taker match at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah, the streak breaker. Even though that broke my little heart, makes me sad.
Also gave birth to Brock Lesnar's T-shirt: "Eat, sleep, beat the streak."
Yeah. Is that what he says to his boxers?
So he says to Heyman.
Oh dear. But
before he punches him, hence beat the streak.
Yeah. So that was another good match favorite of mine. Again, Stephanie versus Brie. I've pretty much covered all of my favorite matches. I think what was it? I can't remember who they faced, but it was the match where Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won the tag team championships. I believe it was the Iconics.
I would think that's probably correct because they were the first ones. The first ones. So.
I believe so, yeah. And then obviously Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss win. And, they were a really good, solid tag team. However, the gimmick that Alexa has now, she's doing very well with.
Okay. The first women's tag team champions was Sasha Banks and Bayley. Who then lost it to the Iconics, and yes, they were beaten by Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, which was actually on a Raw. And now a four-way match, which involved Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and the Kabuki Warriors, which is Asuka and Kairi Sane. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, didn't Kairi get released?
Her contract ran out. So, yeah. That's what happened.
Yes. But yeah, we have pretty much covered all my favourite matches already.
Okay. No, I'll tell you what we can go to then, because something that's very essential to every wrestler you ever watch, no matter what promotion they're in and what they do. Entrance music.
What, my favourite entrance musics?
And your worst.
Right. Undertaker, when he was doing the Ministry of Darkness.
Let me know what you're going with first, whether it's the ones you like or you don't like. Please be specific on that one.
I mean, I did just mention Taker, but yeah, we're going for my favourites.
The thing is, you can like someone and not like their music. That's my point. So please be clear.
So when the Bell Toll and American Badass, so yeah, it's pretty much.
We start with your likes first, then.
Huh?
We start with your likes first, then. What the ones you like?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
So Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness theme.
Yep, alongside the American Badass as well.
I am American Badass. I can't sing the song because I'm no talentless bum. Yeah. That's Kid Rock, by the way. I'm talking about not.
Yeah. Another favourite of mine is Daniel Bryan's, believe it or not.
What? Flight the Valkyries?
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with you. I like that song.
Yeah, now I actually got to quickly remember. There is one that I love, and I actually listen to it quite a lot.
Well, if you can tell me who it's for, then I can probably tell you what it is.
I can't remember the wrestler's name, so I've actually got to go through one of my playlists.
What do they look like?
I mean, we can do another one while I'm actually looking this one up. But Finn Balor's music.
Oh, Finn Balor.
Yes.
So
Tyson Kidd.
Who? Sorry.
Tyson Kidd. His fourth theme song.
Okay.
I like that one.
I doubt if a lot of people would have expected that choice. That's interesting.
It's basically it puts me in a good mood, and also it's on my workout playlist. How upbeat it is.
I know what the song is. It's just I doubt a lot of people would have picked it.
Yeah, it's because I feel like most people have forgotten about Tyson Kidd. In all honesty,
I haven't.
No,
I was a big fan of Tyson Kidd. Unfortunately, what happened to him was unfortunate. It was a complete accident, and hopefully at some point I'd like to see if he could possibly get back in the ring, but at the same time, I want him to be safe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Isn't he Natalia's husband?
You are correct, yes.
Yeah, and I know he does behind the scenes shit as well.
He's a trainer in NXT.
Yeah. So
that's agent work for the main roster sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, one hell of an actor, one hell of a wrestler, with one hell of a theme song as well. That's one of my personal favorites.
And for those of you that watch things like Total Divas, he's been on there, of course, because Natalia.
Yeah. Again, I do like Natalia's theme song. I think that is a brilliant one.
It's Bret Hart's, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
A modernised version.
Yeah, I do like that one.
To be fair, out of anyone who has the right to use that song other than Bret, it would be Natalia, because it was also her dad's.
Yeah, she's had a lot of shit luck, hasn't she?
So, yeah, because Bret and Jim Neidhart, which is her dad, used that theme as a tag team in the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
So if anyone's the right to use that other than Bret, it would be Natalia.
Yeah, because didn't she revive that faction as well with TJ and...
You had the Hart Dynasty is what they were called, because you had her and TJ, which is Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
And they called him Davey Boy Smith Jr., but his name is Harry Smith, and that is the British Bulldog's son.
Yeah. So
FYI, sorry, just a quick FYI on that one. There was the Hall of Fame ceremony that's just gone, and the British Bulldog got inducted.
Hey!
And Harry was there to collect the ring.
Oh, bless him.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
I believe.
The same music.
Yeah, I believe the Bellas were also inducted as well, weren't they?
No, I have no memory of that.
Well, they were meant to be in the 2020 class.
I don't actually remember it. Honestly, I don't.
Fair enough. I didn't know if he was pulling my leg or not, so I was just like,
No, I legitimately do not remember. So I will actually check that
Yeah.
because I honestly don't remember.
While we're on the subject, Nicki's music. I prefer it to Breeze.
Well, you can look, but you can't touch.
Yes.
To be fair, I don't blame you.
It's a nice upbeat song. I listen to it when I've had a few drinks and
Okay. I
Really?
found the list of I found the list of inductees, so I'm just going to name who they are. These are the 2020 ones, okay? Because you mentioned. We have JBL, which is basically John Mitchell Layfield. Fair enough. I think that's good. The British Bulldog. And the other one, these are the individual ones, and this one I very much agree with, is Jushin Thunder Liger. And for those of you who do not know who he is, check out New Japan, WCW, and his match against Tyler Breeze in NXT. It's on one of the takeovers. You'll understand after that.
Okay.
Then you had the NWO who got inducted, which was represented by 4 of their members, which was Sean Waltman, oh my ass, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. Then it is the Bella Twins. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Then we had the celebrity inductee, person who was inducted. That was William Shatner. Those of you who don't know who he is, Captain Kirk from Star Trek.
Yes.
And the Warrior Award winner for that year was Titus O'Neil.
Wait.
Which I'm a big fan of that one. And the 2021 ones, I'll get to these as well while we're here. So I'll rattle these off. Okay. Molly Holly. Damn right she should be. Eric Bischoff. Definitely should be. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Kane. As in Glenn Jacobs, yeah?
Yeah, as in the mayor.
Yeah. Again, no issue with that one. Definitely should be. Great Khali. Again, people have an issue with that. Guess what? Don't care. He did a lot for Indian wrestling. He got them on the map, and he got them exposure and stuff. And sometimes that's what you want from a guy. I have no issue with him being in there. Also, former world champion. And the other one was Rob Van Dam.
Oh.
Which, considering Rob Van Dam's history and the amount of stuff he's won, definitely should be in there. And the celebrity is Ozzy Osbourne.
Way.
So there you go.
Who won the Warrior Award?
It was some government liaison official, so that's why I didn't say who it was, because government.
Oh.
I only read out the ones that people would probably know.
Yeah. But
I thought I'd cover that as soon as the Hall of Fame got brought up, so our viewers know what it is. So I don't have to cover this on the next show when we do the regular version.
Yeah.
We have enough to talk about on that show.
Yeah. I mean, he might bring it up anyway, but because I'm not sure if he's watching this, but yeah. But
it's more a case of, as soon as you brought it up, I just thought I'd mention it because it related to the Bellas. So
yeah.
But yes, Nicki's song. I can understand why you like Nicki's song. I do think it's better than Breeze.
Yep. I mean, especially after I've had a couple of drinks, yeah. We're ending it at that one because that's Patreon content.
Yeah, it's for Steph's Patreon show.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, this may sound shocking, but the Raw theme song, Enemies by Shinedown.
You are my enemy, and the enemy. You mean that one?
No.
Because that's
the one when they did the first brand split and it was SmackDown Live and Raw, and it's like, I'm gonna send you the link to it. So
is that whoa bollocks? No, okay.
Shinedown's an actual band that I actually listen to.
I don't give a shit. Right?
But Shinedown's song was used perfectly for Monday Night Raw, in personal opinion. But
only decent Raw tune there's ever been was the very first one for the War Zone. section of Raw. That's it. The rest of them have all been crap. My
Okay.
opinion. My opinion. But anyway, this is your taste, not mine. So
yeah. So then we go to Paige. Yeah, I said
I'm with you. I'm with you with Paige.
I love Paige's theme song.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the English Paige, that one, just to be clear, so there's no confusion. So basically, top-notch diva girl. Unfortunately, currently sidelined with injury. I'm hoping, because apparently she's trying to make a comeback so she can get cleared.
Yeah.
If she's able to, and it's safer to do so, love to see her back. I used to like watching Paige wrestle.
Yeah, Paige was a great wrestler. But this one may come as shocking. Eva Marie, her theme song in 2014, it was kind of a rock kind of style.
I don't remember it, in all honesty.
It's one that I still listen to this day. But so yeah, that's pretty much all of them. I will also put in here Seth Rollins' 5th theme song, which was the one before the whole Burn It Down was in it. It was the kind of the original one.
Basically, yeah, guys, it's that theme before Vince didn't like the fact there was a gap in it.
Yeah.
Because that's why that got put in, by the way.
Yes. Also, Dean Ambrose's theme song.
Well, then. Okay.
As soon as that came on, my smile would be on my face. And then, of course, it's pretty much Roman's theme song, but I'm going to count it as Shield because there is a bit in before that makes it different to Roman's.
The only difference literally between the two is the Shield one has the phonetic spelling of the Shield before it. That's literally it.
And to be honest, I don't know why, but I like that one better.
Which one?
The Shield one. I like that one a bit better.
There is actually a slight difference in tempo, but they are the same song.
Yeah. But so yeah, those are pretty much my favorites.
Okay. I think that's fair enough. I can understand most of those.
The worst.
Yes, let's get on to the worst, because this could be more fun.
Seth Rollins, the Messiah, holy, the holy
yeah. Fuck it. Yeah.
Fucking bell end move, whoever decided to put that as his theme.
You know who it was.
Vince, you're a dick. Speaking of Vince, I don't like his theme song.
What? No chance. That's what you got. You mean that one?
I hate it.
That is a very unpopular wrestling opinion. People love that song. I
honestly can't stand it. The same with Shane McMahon's one. They are.
Here comes the money. Money. Okay, that I understand. That song gets on my nerves.
Yep. I don't like either of them. I think if any of them were tolerable out of the McMahons, it's Stephanie's one.
Oh, that's a bad opinion. People do not like that song.
I can tolerate it.
Okay, I never
strongly like it, but I can tolerate it. Whereas Shane and Vince.
Well, that's fair enough. Obviously, these are your opinions, but understand there may be some internet backlash because people have opinions about those songs that don't agree with you.
Yes, and I'm very aware of that. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm just expressing that.
Absolutely.
So, again, we're gonna go for. He has somewhat talent in the ring, but is a dick. Shawn Michaels music.
Which one?
The one that starts with all the girls screaming over him, and then it goes.
Oh, sure. I think I'm cute.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Just to check because he's had different music. He had the Rockers music. He had the ones with where it's the girl singing that song. There's a version where he sings that song, and there's also his DX, which technically is his as well.
I don't mind DX's theme song. Oh shit! Another good one that I like is Stone Cold Steve Austin's. That's one that I do like.
Oh, the glass breaking.
Yes.
Just to be clear, people, she means the original one, not the Disturbed one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I like it. It's just one that I always get along with, and if it comes on my playlists, then so be it. And
There's
it's
nothing wrong with that. We said it before. It's what you like. People do like that song, though. To be
yeah. But again, I'm not a big fan of Sean's music.
back to the worst, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, one that did get on my nerves, Summer Rae, her music.
I can agree with that.
I honestly, and also, again, this is this probably will be an unpopular opinion, but Breezango's music.
I can understand that, to be fair, but it probably isn't popular.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it at all. But
I get why it works for them, but I can also understand why people or somebody wouldn't like it. It's one.
Don't get me wrong, right? The first time I had the next one is extremely unpopular, and I think you may question it.
Okay, well, I'll be curious to hear.
And there's only been one time that I've liked this, and it's John Cena's music.
You don't like it?
I don't like the whole the more the. I don't like that. I preferred when he did the rapping bullshit that he did.
Okay, I have much more unpopular opinion than you do on that one, but no, you're right. A lot of people will be fine with you on that one. I only have I've never liked any of these themes.
The only reason why I did like it was when the crowd started saying John Cena sucks along with it. Because unpopular opinion, he's better on the mic than in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. But he knows that, to be fair.
Yeah, he's always been better on the mic. He, okay, he has some talent in the ring, but personally, I've actually fallen asleep in a John Cena match before.
What you tend to find with wrestlers particularly, and I'll just segue this slightly and we'll go back to the music thing. Some wrestlers are much better at promos than they are in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's others who are much better in the ring than they are at promos. Very few are good at both. There is a small list of people who can do both very well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Small list.
Yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say, unless you got something to add to that, then we can go back to your music.
I think one that, I don't know how popular this opinion is, but Mick Foley doing both, I think works.
Promo and wrestling, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's good at being a mouthpiece and beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, I would not argue that personally.
But another thing I like about Mick Foley is the amount of characters that he did, and the one Royal Rumble where he went through. He came out as himself, then Mankind and Dude Love.
Well, you know what it was? He wanted to be WWE champion, and I can respect that.
Oh, yeah. And, I really can too, but it was comical for me watching that.
But that's another example of where kayfabe falls down, because what happens if he's still in the ring and then his next character gets drawn?
Mr. Slipper, take over.
Yeah, this is where logic catches up with wrestling, right? There's something like that.
Yeah. So,
but obviously, as long as it goes flawlessly, it's a great thing to do. Absolutely. But it's one of those things. You think about it, you think that shouldn't work, but for some reason it does, and it's because Foley makes it work.
Yeah, but that's definitely one match that they had to script what place was where, so they knew when Foley had to be thrown out.
Piece of advice, a bit of a break of the kayfabe here. All Rumble matches are planned out as to who gets eliminated when.
Yeah.
I would point out there's been a couple of them where it's gone wrong.
Oh, yeah. But when hasn't anything gone wrong for the WWE?
It's something we might do at some point as a Patreon show, cover when wrestling has gone off the rails.
Oh,
because obviously we did a special we've done a Patreon show yesterday about my origins. I think the next one might be about basically when wrestling stories and wrestling bits and wrestling moments of wrestlers have gone slightly off the rails or off script.
Yes.
So,
but
anyway, back to your music.
Yeah. Oh, that's a point. Playlist time, because I actually have a playlist of songs that I don't like, so I can listen to them when I get angry.
And they start with no chance. That's what you got.
This is gonna get a bit of backlash.
Go on.
Randy Orton.
You mean the Voices one? Okay, I can understand. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's, and here's another one.
Before you get to that, sorry, have you heard Orton's original theme?
No, I have not. I will actually, look it up later and listen to it. But
because
I have been told he's had more than one.
Yeah, because he had a theme before that one. Because you know what your opinion of his original theme.
Yeah, I will listen to it and then I'll let you know. But Miz.
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. I hated it. And alongside Miz, there is Dolph Ziggler.
Well, I hid until the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crap. I agree.
Oh yeah, I genuinely cannot stand that one. But this is gonna be unpopular, but it's Alexa Bliss's theme when she was in NXT.
No, I'm with you on that one. I don't
when
like
it was all upbeat and bouncy. I prefer what they did to it when she came up.
That goes to original gimmicks. She used to be like a pixie fairy.
Yeah, I mean, because the original song that she had was called Blissful.
Yeah.
And the second one, I don't know if she has the same theme now, but I know that this one, the one that I do get on with a bit more, is Spiteful. And that was when she came up to the main roster.
I'll tell you what, I will look up Alexa Bliss's themes because I'm pretty sure she has a different one now.
Yeah.
Because, I thought as much. Because, Spiteful was what it was. Nowadays, it's the Fury. And that is to go with her association with the Fiend.
All right, I will give that one a listen.
Because she has her own Fiend entrance music.
Oh, fair enough.
Because, like Bray, she has an alternate. She changes and becomes a different version of herself when she's Fiend Alexa, and that's what that music's for. So you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Spiteful was the one where it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ Lee.
What? How did the sound of the sound of the shine so bright? You mean that one? Yeah, that's either hit or miss for people, so I can understand that.
That's what it makes me want to do.
Not look at the stars shining so bright. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Now, the only reason why I do not get on with this one is because my sister has overplayed the fuck out of this entrance. But the next couple she's overplayed. The first one, Jeff Hardy, No More Words.
Yeah,
I think. Don't get me wrong. As a song, it's great. If I listen to it every now and again, fine. Not when I'm hearing it on an hour loop.
Jeff Hardy's had better themes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I've just said, I can tolerate.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
What I would say, you've not heard all of Jeff Hardy's themes, I wouldn't have thought, because he was in TNA for a while and he had different themes there.
Well, all the ones from WWE/WWF, the only one I can tolerate is No More Words.
Okay, he has two TNA themes or Impact themes that
Mm.
I think you probably listen to because they may be more your thing. Because he actually sings them.
Okay,
One is called Modest, and one is Another Me.
right.
Modest is when he was a face. Another Me is his heel one.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I will give those a listen.
Yeah, you can find them
But
on YouTube. I know they're there if you want to listen to them, or if you've
yeah.
got Spotify or Apple Music, you'll find them on those too.
Mhm. So this one again has been overplayed.
Mm-hmm.
Before they remodified it to what it is now, Sasha Banks' theme song.
I've never liked that song.
I don't mind the modifications that they did on it. However, it's still, in my opinion, a shit song.
Uh-huh. Oh no, I
I
agree with
prefer
you.
more modifications, but
I personally don't like the song, but that's me personally. Sasha's great. I like Sasha. I just don't like the song.
yeah, she's a great wrestler. Like,
Yeah,
hats off to her for that.
her
But
song sucks.
yeah, one that pissed me off that they changed, and I understand why they did it. Bailey's new music.
Yeah, again, it makes sense to change it, absolutely.
Yeah.
But her new music's not great. I would agree with you.
Mm.
When she was
Oh,
a face, though, her face music worked for her.
oh yeah.
I wasn't a fan of it, but it worked for her at least. So that helped me deal with
Yeah.
the fact I didn't particularly like it, but it worked for Bailey. And when you have an
Yeah.
entrance music, it's important it works for the wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, one that I did forget to mention that I am a fan of is Shinsuke. His theme.
Which one?
I mean, pretty much the ones that he's had in WWE have all been good.
Right. Because his face one is just the violin, and then there's the heel one where he has the rapping in it.
Yeah, I like both versions. I think both versions are great.
Good for you.
And they work for him.
Good for you. So do I.
Yeah. So yeah, but back to ones that I'm not a fan of.
Uh-huh.
And it pains me because as a kid I used to like this one.
Whoa.
But, Edge.
Sorry?
Edge, his music.
You don't like Metal Lingus, yeah?
I used to like it as a kid, and I don't know why, but when I heard it the other day because I was flicking through Instagram and I saw a spoiler, as it were, for something to do with Edge.
I see clearly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, that will be an unpopular opinion. People love that song.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it is an iconic song, and I think the music's great. However, I personally am not a fan of it anymore. I used to be as a kid.
I think that's fair enough, but I am warning you, the internet love that song.
Yeah, be prepared for backlash on our Twitter.
Yeah, people don't be dicks. If you don't agree with Steph, that's fine, but don't be dicks.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up the music for me.
Yeah.
However, there is one that I forgot to mention, and that is Mojo's theme song.
So this is one we like then, clearly.
Oh yeah, it's Who Let the Dogs Out. Oh shit, thanks for that. Overrated. Ronda Rousey.
As a wrestler?
The music.
Oh, that's Bad Reputation. It's Joan Jett.
Yeah, that belongs in Shrek, not in the wrestling world.
I actually like the song. I don't think it works for Ronda Rousey. I would agree with you.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely I like the song, just not for her gimmick.
I think that's fair enough.
Because it's too. Because when she was in the WWE, it was too upbeat for what her character was trying to be.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's one of the reasons which I thought it was weird because she's supposed to be like some badass fighter and she's come out to her, hey, everybody, it's a new generation. And it's like,
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck
What
is
the hell? That'd be like Shayna Baszler coming out to the Smurfs theme tune.
No, that would be like her coming out to My Little Pony.
It's just Shayna Baszler, My Little Pony, My Little Pony.
What is wrong with us?
Or The Rock coming out to Fraggle Rock.
Or it's like, oh no. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out to Bear and Big Blue House intro.
And then rolling around the ring going, oh, where is Shadow?
Oh, did I wake you up? I'm sorry, but I'm going to need to move you in a minute because I need to go to the toilet. So I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, and the crowd will all be going, what? Yeah, so yeah, just some of the fun stuff you can have. But yeah, for the most part, though, most wrestling themes usually suit the wrestlers, and usually as long as they do that, it's fine. But there are some bad ones. So definitely, I mean, at some point, I might get around to telling people what mine are, what I like and what I don't like. But the themes I like stretch across multiple companies. So in this primarily is a WWE show, so I'm not really going to touch upon other companies too much because this isn't the place for that. Might at some point do a list of WWE songs here and possibly on High Spots or the Patreon High Spot show, maybe touch upon stuff like that there. Or of course, there's always a possibility of doing another episode of the Patreon show for the both shows, which is called the Super Show, and possibly cover it there. But obviously, we've got something already lined up for the next one of those, which is basically when wrestlers go off the rails, essentially, as in they don't follow stories or they do bad stuff, and we might go into a bit of details about those. But at some point, I'll definitely do something about what theme music and tunes I like for who and stuff, and possibly even go through a list of favorite wrestlers. But on these shows, a lot of the time, I'm more interested in what the co-host has to say in those regards, because it's against a generational thing, because who I like is not going to be the same as who these guys like. And I think that's an important thing, because that way people can get an idea of what these guys like. And if they want to know who I like, then possibly you come over to those Patreon shows and then I can fill you in.
Guys.
So, yeah. So Stephanie's favorite theme tune, from what I understand, is Hulk Hogan's Real American.
Again, it's one I can tolerate. I can't per se listen to it on repeat. But
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. Stephanie's favorite wrestler, right there.
Unpopular opinion, he's overrated.
It's not an unpopular opinion. Nobody thinks Hogan's a good wrestler.
No, I just think he's overrated for what he is.
I don't know. Hogan's one of those people very much of his time. If you grew up with Hogan, it's one of those things you probably understand better, and it's not meant to degrade anyone. It's a case of he's big because of what he was at the time. Also,
yeah,
an example of somebody who was much better at talking than wrestling.
I've just sussed out how to make a flower.
Sweet. We like to be creative and adaptive here, you know. And Steph's living up to a gimmick because Steph's normal home residence for shows is hook up with Steph.
Yes, my lovely crochet stuff.
Exactly. Which is also carried on this channel. It's every other Saturday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We did one yesterday, so the next one is in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, unless something comes up, because I'm a very busy woman.
Yeah, usually having tug of war fights with Mojo, as you guys saw earlier.
Oh yeah, or I'm painting, which I'm doing tomorrow. So yeah, if you watch across the board with sorting stuff and everything, yeah, this should be fixed soon. I know it's been like this for 2 months.
2 months later. We should probably do a Patreon show that chronicles your progress of painting your room.
Oh, I mean, it's almost done. I just need to do that wall and then I'm finished. But yeah.
Yeah, I am kidding, boys, to be clear.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but it's all good fun. Obviously, didn't really mention what. Obviously, didn't ask you about what gimmicks mean, but I'm pretty sure you probably know what a gimmick is anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much what the character says and does, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially. You can have wrestling gimmicks as well. Like there's gimmick matches, which I know you're familiar with that one.
Like the cinematic matches and stuff.
Yeah, you got it. So I didn't think I'd have to go over that one with you because this is a beginner. This is an idiot's guide to wrestling, but Stephanie has seen wrestling before, so there are things she is going to know.
Not a total idiot.
Yeah. Well, otherwise this would be the total idiot's guide to wrestling.
Wow.
Which we might actually get someone at some point to do a total idiot's guide to wrestling with.
Kira.
I was thinking Kira. Because to be fair, Kira's not stupid by any means. Kira's a very clever girl, but I doubt she's ever watched wrestling.
I think she may have watched like one match with me.
That's my point. That if she has, she's probably done like once or twice, maybe, but she's not a religious follower. So it could be fun to see what her take is on it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's see. Is there anything else I can think of that may be relevant to what we're talking
I think we've covered everything.
That's what I'm trying to make sure about, but I think we probably have. Oh, okay, yeah. The last and final question probably is the best thing to ask you. Favorite wrestler of all of timesies? I know you have a particular favorite wrestler, but would he be your all-time favorite?
It's a mix between him and the Bellas. Being completely honest,
that's fair.
But I grew up with Undertaker. He has been pretty much a huge part of my life when it comes to the wrestling world, because every time I've managed to keep up with wrestling, he's always been a part of it. It's like my body knows when he's coming back. So it's like, oh, we want to watch wrestling now. And then all of a sudden I hear that go. I'm like, yes, about time.
So the thing is, I don't blame you for having trouble picking, because if somebody asked me that question, there's about 4 different wrestlers that I like to that kind of level. So it'd be hard to just name one.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, those are my personal favorites. If you honorable mentions, Hornswoggle as comedy. For comedy, Hornswoggle is a nice honorable mention.
We touched on Hornswoggle in the Patreon show yesterday because I gave Stephanie a recommendation of something to watch. You guys, I'm not going to mention it here, but you can probably, those of you who have long-time wrestling fans can probably guess what it was. Did you find it?
Is it what I think it is? No, I didn't find that, but I did rewatch the hold on, the other thing that we spoke about.
Okay, because there was we did speak about a lot on that show yesterday because it was a doozy of a show.
I rewatched that today.
Yeah.
Yes, I rewatched that today.
Literally find the other thing I mentioned.
Yeah, I will do.
So, but that's fair enough, because regardless of what you think of Hornswoggle was entertaining.
Oh yeah, he was.
Still is. He still wrestles. He's actually Impact Wrestling nowadays, for those of you who are not aware.
I mean, again, another honourable mention is Jerry the King Lawler, and that is purely based on we have a common fear.
Is it the Miz calling us out of title matches?
No, it's Snacks.
What?
Snakes. Because remember when the snake was in the ring and the Rumble?
I think you mean Snacks.
Yes,
Kira very coolly called them Snacks.
Yeah, they're now Snacks. Mojo, why are you huffing? I don't have actual snacks. We're talking about snakes.
Yeah, for those of you who don't get the reference, there was a show that we did with Kira, and she kept calling them snacks instead of snakes, and it's kind of stuck.
Yes.
So
But
Kira appears on some of our other shows for those who aren't aware that she's on the Salty Stuff podcast and does turn up on Hook Up with Steph as well.
Yes. And she was also on the Broken Film Show as well.
Yes, she was. And probably will be for the one next Saturday, I'm guessing.
I would hope so if she's available. I do remember her saying she would. But
because it's a subject I'm pretty sure she'll want to, because I've already talked about it with the guys here, so they know what it actually is.
Yeah. So there is that. But again, Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, very good honorable mentions. I will throw Kane into the mix as well, purely based on.
If you do not name me, I will set myself on fire.
Or the long-term wrestling fans will find that hilarious because they get that reference. You, on the other hand, look very confused by it.
I just thought you was doing a very bad impression of Stephen Hawking.
Okay, I will explain it to you because it's.
Yes.
Originally, Kane didn't speak, but when he started speaking, they gave him one of those voice modulators to stick to his throat and speak. Good. I'm not kidding. And he had he had like a Inferno match. Oh no, he had a match against Austin, which was First Blood match, and he's promised if he lost,
I will set myself on fire.
And that's where that comes from.
Oh dear.
It means bad booking.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, yeah, absolutely, I can understand Kane, definitely.
Yeah, and from what I have seen from Stunning Steve Austin, because I did watch a couple of clips, I'm throwing Stone Cold in there as well.
Did you like what I suggested?
Yes, because before his knee injury, you know, the way he wrestled was amazing.
It's why I suggested those to you on the show yesterday, because it's important to put into context just how good he actually was.
Yeah, I mean, even with what I did see growing up, with the whole brawl kind of scenario, you know, it was still it's still good, don't get me wrong, but it's just you can see the true potential in his prime.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm waving around a crochet hook.
Well, it hooks up with your show, see?
But so yeah, those would be the honorable mentions. But yes, my all-time favorites are the Bella Twins and the Undertaker.
Cool.
May his legacy forever remain remembered.
So basically, your three favorites are Primo, and you can look, but you can't touch. You will rest in peace.
Pretty much.
Three gimmicks that couldn't be any more different. But that kind of sums up wrestling.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah, there really is. So yeah,
those are main favorites. Ultimately, one of the main reasons to watch wrestling, you guys, whether you're new to wrestling or if you've watched it for years, is variety. There's something for everyone. And pick what you want to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody says you've got to watch everything.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It's meant to be fun.
Yes, I do second that statement.
Cool. So I think we've pretty much covered everything we're going to cover, in all honesty. If people want me to do another one of these for Steph, we can always bring her back for a special or have her come onto the Patreon show.
I mean, yeah, I think bring me back for Patreons. Keep the mainstream stuff to you and Aaron and you and Ant.
Yeah, I mean, this was different because the WrestleMania thing, literally.
Yeah.
Ant was never going to be available for that because it's also weekends. Ant's busy at weekends anyway. And Aaron is probably in a coma somewhere recovering from several nights already of not sleeping properly.
From what I've seen from his charity pages today, he was trying to do a vlog and trying to do a stream before he watches WrestleMania. So
yeah, that's pretty much why Aaron is not here for this episode because I didn't want him to have to try and do multiple things like that because that was never going to work. So I just thought it best to be on watching the stuff, and then he can come back for the next show, and then we can go all over it then. And then he's had plenty of time to recover as well.
Definitely, and hats off to Aaron for doing this. It's rough staying up to watch a pay-per-view, especially when the pay-per-view starts at 1 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, the events are over 2 nights, so at least they're like 3 hours, probably at most each one, as opposed to what WrestleMania was before, like nearly 7 bloody hours. It got to that point where it was 7 hours long, which if it's 1 o'clock in the morning for those of you in the UK, by the time it finishes, it's basically daytime.
Yeah.
So for us in the UK, the shortened shows and the 2 nights thing is probably beneficial because you actually get to go to bed at a fairly okay time and manage to get a fair amount of sleep.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who gets up at 5 o'clock most mornings, that is not doable for me.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
So thank God for the WWE Network.
Yeah, there's a lot of people practically can't do stuff, but yeah, absolutely, you got the network as well. So that does it. Because if you don't catch it live with the network, you can always watch it later.
Yeah, or you can, if you just want highlights because you don't want to sit through loads of footage, check out these guys on a Sunday.
Yeah, we will pretty much give you the what's what. So, and if there's something particularly we think you guys need to check out, we will tell you because we want to share good stuff with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's all this channel is really about. It's like good times, and also if there's any additional information that we can't really share, we do give you other channels. I mean, I've given a few channels for my podcast, especially, so.
I mean, I already mentioned, talking about the wrestling stuff earlier, I mentioned one of the journalists that covers it. I mentioned where you can find him.
Yeah.
Because his company, Fightful, they do YouTube content. So definitely worth a watch for the stuff they do because those guys, they're proper journalists and they do know what they're talking about, which does help.
Yes.
So always a good thing. But yeah, always good to try and help people out and pass stuff along. Obviously, any comments or questions about anything we talked about, just put them in the comments below. Our patrons, of course, can just contact us directly. That's not an issue. And yeah, so at this point, we will be going in a moment. I will just go through all the fun stuff again for promotional purposes because yes. And before I start all that stuff, I will remind you guys again, because I mentioned this earlier, but I'll remind you now, there is no Sorting Stuff podcast on Wednesday because none of us are available to do it. I will, however, be trying to sort something out so there is something for you guys on Wednesday. It probably won't be live, though, but there'll be something, hopefully, because I'm going to try and sort something. Okay. And with that, of course, we will go to the Patreon. So you guys can go check that out. We have links for everything we're going to show here in the description as well. But with the Patreon stuff, there's different levels. You get different benefits as well. It also really helps us, to be honest, to keep stuff going and to give you brand new, flashy, fun content and add extra shows and do fun stuff. And also, it's nice to, if I can at some point, help some of these people do stuff as well with their shows. Because Steph already has her own show, and I'm trying to twist Kira into doing one as well. But Kira has a lot on her plate, so I'm not going to try and make her do that. It's more of a case of, I think you'll get there eventually, but I don't want to force that issue. Obviously, Aaron, you find here as well as Salty Stuff. Obviously, he's taking a break from Salty Stuff at the moment because a lot on, but you normally will find him here. And of course, for High Spot, which is our sister show, you'll find Ant. And Ant's not around at the moment because his kids are all on half term and he has no time.
I understand that.
Right. Yeah, he has 4 kids and a wife. Yeah. So, and a job. So yeah,
I thought having 3 siblings, a mum and a dog at home was bad.
Exactly. So anyway, it's just something for you. Obviously, this is our Twitter for the network. So again, with any of these shows particularly, you just type in the show name, the hashtag the show name, and we'll find any comments directed to us, particularly if you want to do it that way. Obviously, you can just throw us a follow as well, because we will post when shows are going to go live and if there's anything special coming up as well. Also, the Instagram, same deal as the Twitter. Some people prefer Instagram, some people prefer Twitter. We give the option of both. Obviously, there's also our Facebook page, which you guys can find us on too. And of course, we will also say a very special thank you to our special guest for coming along for the Idiot's Guide to the Wrestling, which is Stephanie. And this is Stephanie's Instagram.
Yes, check out my day job, which is hairdressing. So yeah, hence why I don't have a lot of time to watch wrestling. It's because I'm working quite a lot. Well, at the moment, studying and working. So
also college as well, which is the other thing. So,
but I would like to say.
Sorry, I was going to say every other Saturday you can also catch Stephanie's show.
Yes, and you will find me on Wednesdays 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, which is
go
on, Steph.
Yes, I would like to say thank you for having me on. You guys will not have to put up with me every single Sunday, okay? This is literally like a once in a blue moon situation. Aaron covers this a lot better than what I can. So, because he has the more availability to do so. So, yes.
Yeah. It's also the reason why we've not covered anything that's going on right now with the wrestling stuff, because that's not why Steph's here. Steph is here for people to get an idea of what it's like to have minimal or very little knowledge of the wrestling business, and then we go across what they know and then explain things to them so people get an idea of basically helping go and possibly put over people that might want to see, things they might want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point of this is just for people to know it's all okay to go out there. It's also okay to ask questions. We're happy to recommend things for people and get in touch. Just let us know.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, I would
go on, Steph. Sorry, go on.
So yeah, I just wanted to like clarify that just in case we got any people getting confused whether Aaron's gonna come back or not. Yeah, I'm just special co-host for today.
Yeah, it's literally because Aaron's doing literally from Wednesday all the way to essentially the end of Raw. He is watching all of that stuff live. So anyone else who's doing this stuff will understand why. And also Aaron has his charity stuff he has to do as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't take a lot of time. Plus, also, he has to sleep. So that's why he's there. Stephanie very, very kindly agreed to come on to do this because, you know, because I figured I did say to you guys I'll try and give you something to watch, even if Aaron's not around for the Sunday. I did warn these guys last week that he wouldn't be here this week, so at least we got him something. So that's one of the reasons we're grateful you're here. What I will also do, seeing as he made so many appearances on this show, it's Mojo's Instagram.
Yes, go show my doggo some love. You know, he's amazing.
I will put the link to his Instagram in the description for those of you that do want to follow.
Yes. Go check him out. Like, loads of cute little pictures will follow. So, yeah, he's currently sleeping by my bedroom door, so he's now calmed.
Yeah, you'll get pictures like that.
Yes.
Which is never a bad thing. We love the doggo.
Yes, literally daily updates for my uncle. So...
Exactly. So, with that, people, we are pretty much done as far as content stuff goes for this episode. As I said before, there's no sort of stuff on Wednesday. The next show that I know for a fact will happen, this is probably the best one to deal with, will be Saturday's Broken Film Show.
Yes.
Recap of will be about 7 p.m. UK time, and it's about the 50 Shades of Grey franchise. And a few of the people that are on this network seem to be quite interested in being on. Cool, I can't guess why.
I mean,
I'm going to see if I can get a full house of female fans. Let's put it that way. So, I mean, the main thing is, barring anything coming up, I think we're going to get Steph and we're going to get Kira. It's just whether we can get Dee Dee.
I will have to see if she's working because my dear friend nights.
Because she works. Yeah, Dee Dee works nights, so it's a case of if she's free. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to have all three of them on because I'd like their opinions on this. I'd be very interested. So, but you might just have Steph and Kira. Trust me, that'll be fine. Because if you watch the first episode of Broken Film Show, we talked about Harry Potter, and it was Steph and Kira, and that show did very well for itself, view-wise and interactions-wise. So, yeah, it'll give you an idea of what you can possibly expect. Then, of course, the following day at 8 p.m. will be the regular 50/50 booking show, where you'll have Aaron back as your regular co-host, and we will be going over WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Get comfy, people. Bring drink, bring snacks, bring a pillow. It'll probably be quite long.
Wear your pajamas.
Find a nice comfy bed if you can. But obviously, not everyone will be listening to it or watching it when they're in bedtime, because obviously if you're in other parts of the world, you'll be awake. But just be comfortable and just relax and just have some fun with it.
Yep.
All good. And with that, I think we are pretty much sorted. So I think we've covered everything. We've plugged everything. But the important thing is, guys, remember, this is all for fun. Do enjoy.
Sponsor.
Yes, there is a sponsor. Yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to redo it or not. No, actually, no. I'm not going to redo it. If you guys want to know about the sponsor stuff, about sponsor promo code, you're going to have to go back and watch from the beginning. Okay. I'll bring up here. This is a sponsor, which is Run Light Photography. Okay. And I'd like to thank Drawing Light Photography for sponsoring the show. It's very good of them. They're a great company.
Yes, they are. I have done freelance work for said company. Yes, I'm not getting paid to say this. Yes, they are good company. We swear. I'm kidding, guys. They are a really cool company. Go check them out.
Right now, Stephanie's doing an impression of creative, and I'm Vince McMahon.
Literally have someone I work with breathing down my neck.
Yeah, in all fairness, guys, I mean, Draw Light Photography is my company, so I do sponsor a lot of these things. But you do get promo codes out of this stuff, so if you guys pay attention to those promo codes, you will be able to get stuff out of it. So, and with that, people, adios, enjoy.
Bye-bye.
And because we're WWE, it's WWE, that's Undisputed Era. It's their hand gesture.
Oh.
Don't ask me why it just is. So
I thought Yui was like that.
I
thought that was Yui.
Well. Yeah, but there's also this too. They've got two different ones.
Oh,
on the other hand, if it's pure WWE and you like the classics WWE,
not gonna lie, I thought you was gonna go to DX then.
I'd have to stand up to do DX.
I probably have to stand up for that.
Or you can go, if you want to go to like classic era. which is Hogan, as you don't know. With that, people, good luck. Enjoy. Take care of yourselves.
Yes.
And we'll see you hopefully in shows to come. And obviously this time next week for those of you who want to catch 50/50 booking with its regular stuff. We do appreciate you watching our special, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.